Hello and happy Wednesday, everybody. Hopefully you can see us and hear us all okay. Happy New Year, folks. We haven't streamed since before Thanksgiving, so it's good to be back. It's good to be here. Very excited for all of the things. As you can see, we have a new overlay, new layout, new character art, new year, new us, who dis. I'm going to, before I get too off track, introduce our lovely players here. And we're going to start with the top left of everybody else's screen, as always, with Vic.
Hello, everyone. My name is Victor. I use they, them pronouns, and I will be playing your Tabaxi rogue, the fastest hands in Okurai, Synarch Fangbreaker, which is his last name and has been since the beginning of the game. I have a bunch of projects coming up, and so please follow me on Blue Sky if you're interested in hearing my voice more. And that's me.
Next up, it's Alyssa.
Next, yeah. Hi, all. Alyssa, they, them, at A Disaster Queer Online. And I am playing Revelation, the Aasimar Circle of Stars druid, who also has the last name, but you don't get to know it.
That's true. Next up, it's Charmy.
Hello, I'm Charmy, also known as Captain Charmy, most places on the internet. I will be playing Aurora Incineratus, the super hot Genasi sorcerer, and I'm really excited to be back.
Next up, it's Aki.
Hello, I'm Aki, or Akino if you're feeling fancy. My pronouns are she, her, and I am playing Dayu Silverhair, who also uses she, her pronouns. You're a bunny bard necromancer. And I didn't know that Rev and Sin had surnames for this entire fucking year. I just thought they were funny and cute and quirky like that. I didn't know we were all rolling with surnames. I thought Fangbreaker was a pun. Thank you.
Next up, it's Mari.
Hey guys, I'm Mariana. I also go by Lagrimosa with a 0 on Twitter and other places. I play D&D with these lovely people. And I play Nikita, the Wood Elf Barbarian, and we both go by she, her pronouns.
And last but not least, hello, hi, good evening. I am your Dungeon Master. My name is Mandy. Pronouns are they, she. You can find me pretty much all over the internet under the same name, @TheMandy, name of the channel. I'm also a regular cast member over on the Magi RPG channel, which will be starting back up for the new year in February, so very, very soon. And yeah, without further ado. One other housekeeping item. After many different tests and requests and trying to find different resources, we now have closed captioning on the stream here. If you look at the Twitch player widget, there should be a closed captioning button there for you. So if you can't hear without your captions, like myself, you now have them. They're not perfect. I'm not going to promise for them to be perfect. I use a lot of made-up words in this campaign, so it's probably going to get really goofy at times. So hopefully that's helpful to some folks out there. It's important to me. It's important to a lot of us here to make things as accessible as we can without breaking the bank and things like that. So yeah, captions are now a thing. And yeah, so that's housekeeping. And without further ado, let's have a little recap, shall we? So, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, I'm going to do quick overview recap, very little details. I will be releasing more detailed recaps on other social medias, like TikTok, for example, in the very near future. But for now, what I will say is our adventurers hail from the land called the Vale of Night. They were tasked with a mission from the ruling body of the Vale of Night, the Kaligo Shirei, to go out into the world of Sunwalkers, beyond, because they live in a world of eternal night right now, to find out what is causing the disruption in the protective magic over the Veil of Night, which is what maintains the night and keeps the mists that live within the veil from dissipating. And those mists are absolutely vital to the life of many of the people who live within the veil for a variety of reasons, monetary and otherwise. It is a very scarce magical resource, and if it were to go away, it would be very, very bad for the people of the veil. And so it is important to go and find out why this protective magic is being interrupted in some manner. So they have been tasked to go to the different Druidic places of power within the world, starting with the one located in Southmoor, the country directly to the south of the Vale, at the very southern end of Southmoor, south of the south, in Hallowgate Necropolis. And they have yet to understand exactly where this location is and what it is called and how they are going to get access to this place. They then journeyed outside of the barrier and into the outside world, where they began to travel all across Southmoor. First to the town of Blockade, which to find Kazuhiko, who is the former fiance of Dayu, Lord Redfang himself. They decided to meet up in this town, get supplies, and then see if he would join the party on their journey, to which he agreed. That did not last long, as Blockade was soon attacked by the festering beasts from Dayu's past, the very same type of creature that killed her sister Mei Lin, whose spirit lingers around Dayu even to this day. The city, from what you have gathered, has been absolutely decimated, and there were not very many survivors left in Blockade after it's really the fall of the city here. You then ventured west to Foxden to see Kazuhiko's family, get some information, and also for Kazuhiko to let his family know that he essentially is saying, fuck all this nobility stuff, I'm going on an adventure. And that was that. You traveled back across Southmoor. In between all of this, fighting giants, summoning a lot of spirits, finding a dead wizard with a secret message, and traveling through a treacherous swamp full of banshees and creatures of that nature, and swamp things and shambling mounds that tried to pull you underwater, finding refuge in some small places, before finally reaching the Burrow, the homestead, the hometown of Dayu, where you met Dayu's family. An earthquake occurred, and that was scary. And after that point was when you then parted ways with yet another NPC that you picked up on your travels by the name of Wolf, which is the name that the party gave this person because they have no recollection of who they really are or why they have this burning desire to go to Cerro Bay City. The party decided not to go the Cerro Bay City and sea route. They decided they had the equipment that they needed to go forth and headed straight to the Hallowgate Necropolis. Outside of the Hallowgate Necropolis, you had to cross a bridge over the Grave Rose River, which was full of strange creatures that look kind of like mermaids that sing to lull you into compliance. You did have to cover your ears as you crossed the bridge towards the city, amidst all of the spirits, sentient undead animals, people, a whole variety of those of varying states of living or unliving, to get to the other side. You found yourselves in a queue to enter the city, to which you could see those living and unliving commingling and having conversations, which is a strange sight because in the Vale there are no sentient undead. They don't live within the Vale. It is not a common thing. Most sentient undead live within Southmoor specifically. And during this time, you saw an interesting individual in a crimson cloak, who you found out was the Lord Keeper of Hallowgate House, Lord Hallowgate himself, who is essentially the right-hand man to the Duke of Hallowgate, who is the ruler of the city. You then entered the city, which you quickly found was guarded by gargoyles, real ones, looming over you at every turn. Oh yes, Kazu sees dead people now. Yes, that is true. Kazuhiko now also sees spirits, just like Dayu does, for reasons unbeknownst to all of you. Although it was after a night where each of you had a different sort of nightmare or memory or conversation in perhaps another realm. And, you know, things like that. You woke up the next morning, all of you were freaked out, and Kazuhiko could see dead people too. So there you go. So you enter the city, gargoyles everywhere, undead people everywhere, banshees presiding over crowds of people as though it were nothing, in a sentient manner rather than a mindless spirit only wanting to kill. And you did eventually find your way to a place of rest so that you could have a little R&R before you did some shopping and approaching of the nobility here in the city. And the place where you all decided to stay is called the Busty Banshee, because we love alliteration in this house. Oh, right. After fighting the Death Dragon, I forgot about the Death Dragon. You also fought a dragon. So giants and dragons, oh my. You did fight a Death Dragon and you won. You looted its body and you stole a piece of its magic, some of this necrotic miasma, which you are now carrying around with you. And that's not going to have consequences at all. So yeah, sin kills big monsters and then cries about it. You're absolutely right, chat. And so that is essentially where we left off, if I'm remembering correctly. I think that was kind of the end of it, was you all decided to have a bath about it and have a long rest, so you are now starting fresh. Did I miss anything? I was trying not to get into all of the weeds because I'm recapping a year of gaming here. So that's very high level. We'll get more detailed off stream and other platforms here. Anything anybody wants to add? Feels pertinent or important? No, we're all good? Alrighty. Yeah, so bathhouses, smooching, lots of romance and flirting. It's fine. Everything's fine. Be gay, do crimes. And, you know, truly that's really all that matters at that point. Before we jump into the roleplay, I do want to say thanks for all of the follows and things. Thank you very, very much. Lots of follows happening. Bits, cheers, subscriptions. Thank you all for that. I don't have these popping up on the stream anymore for these because it kind of takes away from the YouTube posting. But I do see it here, and thank you all so much. I will probably continue to thank you all, but in chat rather than vocally during game. So that covers everything. So you wake in the morning, you are refreshed. You have exited the Busty Banshee. You had your breakfast, you had your coffee, whatever the case might be. You are now out about in the world, the twisting and wandering streets of the city. So I do want to give you a little breakdown of what to expect in the city. So as you have spent time in this tavern, I'm trying to save you all some time here in terms of exploration, the different regions of the city. So the level that you are in currently is called Wickened, but it is also referred to as the Dregs. That is the lowest level of the city. This is the slums of the city. It is largely a residential area, but there are some notable locations, such as the brothel/inn/bathhouse that you are currently hanging out at. There are some other locations there as well. Then the next level up is known as Musegrave. It is also known as both the Market District and the Arts District in one section of the the city. So as a reminder to everybody, because it's been so long, this city is built like a Mesoamerican pyramid. So it's lower level, step up, then step up, all the way up to the castle at the very top of the city itself. So it's like a giant frickin' cake, or a pyramid, whatever you prefer. So there's Musgrave, that's the Market District, and the Arts District, which is where the Bard College is located. The next level up is known as Mid-City, or Sepulchre City. The next level up from that is Sovereign Circle. That is where the nobles live. Above that is Pilgrim's Rest, or the Temple District. And then way at the top is the Duke's Court, which is the castle. It takes up the top 2 tiers of the city. So there are 7 tiers to the city, and the top tier is the castle. The top 2 tiers are the castle. So now you know, generally speaking, what each section is. Okay? So I believe, before we get into more heavy plot things, there was shopping that needed to be done and outfits to be described, as you now have new outfits for this arc of the campaign, and I do not want to deny you that joy.
So I think that Sin, when everyone went to go take a bath about it, Sin was like, I don't think we're ready to see nobility. And so now I believe, like, when we're going back out the city, it's like, okay, perfect. It's time to pick up the outfits. Because Sin had very boldly declared, I think I have all your measurements.
That sounds right.
And so, just we pick them up, and we have these lovely outfits that I now have to recall that we worked on with everybody. So Dayu, well, Aki, do you want to describe your outfit? Because you drew it, and you did a lot more with it.
I did do a lot more. Okay, one second. One second, I didn't open it. You go to someone else, because I actually have to open it. I need the reference that I made then.
Got you. So Nikita, when you open, I'm assuming that they've got like the little, like, like the outfit boxes, right?
Yeah.
And, and so you open it up, and Nikita has this very like sheer corset. It's mesh with like a big like a scoop top to still have as much chest as Nikita likes to expose. And some Elysian style pants instead of Southmore style, because Sin knows that we're going to Elysia soon, hopefully, and wanted Nikita to still feel like comfortable in her outfit.
So
for yeah, I don't know how Nikita's actually going to respond, but hey, listen. And then, so for Aurora, when she opens up like her little outfit box, there's like a saloon style dress in the style of Southmore. It is Aurora's signature blue with a black corset above and some long blue gloves that has lace up the arm and thigh-high stockings, of course.
And she squeals in delight when she opens it.
Yes, and the skirt, when she realizes it has little wrist loops to like lift it easier. For Kazuhiko, Sin went a little extra stylish, where it looks like a words. What are words? Fashion. So it looks like what is called. It looks like almost like a mix between like a suit and a kimono. Like it's like a nice long blazer in a dark maroon, like very dark, almost like brownish red, and has a really nice, for like a one day, like fox embroidery in a very like muted gold on the back. Especially if Kazuhiko wants to impress the Lord. Lord on Lord romance.
How did you know? You figured out my secret.
With more quote unquote sensible pants. Like Sidon's just like, listen, I know you need to move. So I got you sensible pants, but you're gonna be fly as heck in this blazer kimono suit thing.
He will graciously accept it, but he's not as enthusiastic as Aurora.
And then there's Dayu, who, Aki, do you want to take that one?
Got it. I got it. So Dayu has a, I would say it is kimono up top, especially with like how long and square shaped the sleeves are. And Saloon Girl on the bottom, it's all red. The top kimono part specifically has these really beautiful square shaped flower patterns that are in like this like a yellow gold and a little bit black, so that way it just accents it really nicely. The rest of it is quite literally just fabrics. Dayu had a blast just kind of making the skirt part however she wanted. So it's several layers that go short to very long, short in the front, long in the back, like that. There's even some little like black tulle mesh type of material that she also used. She basically you gave her like a box, and like half of it was like just tons and tons of fabric, and she's like, nah, I own scissors, and just did whatever she wanted with the bottom of it. And it's all held together with this yellow brown corset that does not fit too great, and Dayu cut it up some more, so that way it's really nice up here, teta's nice, and at the back it's like completely exposed, so you can kind of see her really fucking epic bat tattoo. She also puts whatever leftover like pieces of fabric like in her hair, like nice bow on a bun, and her hair is in a bun, so it's bow and a bun and a bun on a bun.
That sounds
I think
about
it's
right.
a bun. Yeah,
That sounds about
we
right.
also got weird. Yeah, we also got some bow and accessories going up here. She's having a blast. She looked real cute. Y'all were right. Red's her color. I said it like so many times, like in our private chats, but like red actually her color.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Sin's got a sort of like similar not a bright red, but a dark red button-up shirt, and has gotten himself a really nice leather corset that has what are those called? Straps.
Suspenders?
Suspenders. Yes, thank you. Over some like big puffy pants because his legs are weird. Because he's a cat man. And new they're kind of like spats, but so they're like protective on the top of his foot, but lets him move around on the bottom. And like under the leather is like a nice like sort of dark almost slate gray pants with these like leather spats. And he's very nervous when he gives Rev her box. that has this very luxurious red coat with a fur lining, with like this like nice like white fur lining, and a dress that just cuts up the sides with straps along to expose a little bit, and along the just along the collar, just like in her old outfit, he's asked for like silver embroidery of sun and stars and the moon.
Yeah, I think that Rev takes it and is just like running her fingers over the embroidery over the fur, and it's just, thank you. This is beautiful.
I mean, you probably won't need the fur too much in the city, but when we go to Elysia, I'm sure it'll help out a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Sin is like just doing like a little like, yes, everybody likes their outfits.
So you all put on your fancy new outfits today, or are you saving them for when you go speak to the Duke?
Aren't we gonna go speak to the Duke today?
That's what I thought.
Is that what you were doing today? Okay.
Yeah.
Our attempt was to that.
Okay. So you all don your new outfits. Looking very snazzy.
I didn't describe what Dai's back tattoo looks like, I realized, because now it's fully exposed, and I don't have the mystique of episode, 3 and, missed, literal, to get lost in. So, it's, how am I gonna say this? It is partially ruined, I would say. Because you'd know from all the bath time, she's got a nice fucked up arm. So it's partially ruined now. But it was a very symmetrical, very detailed face. Specifically a very monstrous looking face with curved upwards fangs, and it spewed out the same color of green blue that Daya likes to put on her face. It's only partially colored, and the rest is just texture detailed with black, and probably the most haunting fucking eyes. Yeah, and it covers her backpack going a little bit down too. It's a nice big piece. Very detailed, kind of fucking pristine, not gonna lie. Mm-hmm. It's a shame that it's kind of ruined.
Any of you who walk behind Dayu and see this tattoo, it's a little unsettling. It's a little creepy.
Does it look like the burns and things are from before or after the tattoo? The scarring and whatnot?
Roll me a medicine check. See if you can determine roughly the time.
Okay, that's an 18 on the die, plus 5, 23.
These scars occurred after the fact. Right, Aki? I'm not misremembering? Yeah, okay.
I forgot if I nod, I take the whole fucking headset with me.
You, as you take note of this revelation, you do, kind of look at it, and you can see where the I wouldn't say it's not strictly burn scarring, although that is most of it, is where in the midst of the scar tissue there are small bits of regular skin, because that's just kind of how that works sometimes, depending on how severe it is. Or just sheer luck. And you do see that there are remnants of that same color ink in some of those spots. It's almost, you were really looking at it to see it. Normally, if you weren't really concentrating on it, you wouldn't even notice that. But because you can see those instances of just that little bit of ink that's been kind of burned away with the skin previously, before the scarring occurred, is how you can tell that it happened after the fact, because there's remnants of that tattoo there. Yeah. So yeah, you all get in your outfits. You head towards, I would imagine, did you want to head to the Duke directly?
So I think we had two options, which was we could go directly to the gate and try to flash our papers, or we could go to a guard tower and ask for an escort.
Correct. Which option did you want to do? You could do either or.
Sin does not want a guard escort.
Let's go to the gate.
To the gate.
Okay.
Sin, you're up front. Are you?
It's Sin is confident and with the papers, unless someone else feels like they want to lead, someone who might want to like feel very important or superior. Alyssa.
Wow.
We're up to debate.
I'm real.
What I'm saying is Aurora is up front unless anyone would like to tag team. I feel like she's...
I'm sorry.
Okay, calm down. I feel like she has experience passing between rings of a city, so she's going to try to, announce us professionally.
Did I let you do that? Damn.
So teamwork?
Teamwork makes dream work.
Great.
It does indeed.
So...
Nikita likes to follow everyone in behind.
Kazu, he's not actively going to the front, but he's staying like closer to the front of the group because he's a little wary, because he knows, well,
yeah, in case I fuck up, I get it.
well, because he's already met the Lord Keeper and knows what kind of demeanor to expect, he's like on standby just in case. So you travel through these winding, sometimes cobblestone, sometimes slab type streets, through the necropolis towards the gate to Musegrave. Now, the gate to Musegrave is not blocked. You can go the next level up without speaking to a guard. Do you want to travel up through the city until you are stopped, or do you want to ask at the first gate?
I think we would go until we're stopped, right?
You would keep going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense to me.
I mean, honestly, I thought that we were already in Musegrave to pick up our outfits.
You would have had to go there to go shopping, yes, prior to that point. So you were staying in Wickend originally. That's where the Busty Banshee is. So you walk through Musegrave. You see the spires of the Bard College kind of hidden behind the market district. And you know the arts district is beyond the market. So you're walking through the market right now. And then you make it to the gates to Mid-City. And this is where you are stopped because it is a residential area. And you see a guard. It is a large individual, an orcish individual, possibly half-orc, not sure what other kind of lineage is there. It's a little bit vague, but he kind of steps up as you walk up to the gate, which is closed, and he says, "What business have you?"
Hi there. We are on a mission to meet up with Lord Hallowgate. We have already announced our presence earlier. We've got documentation if you'd like to see it.
He holds his hand out. Yes, please.
We'd appreciate some guidance as well if you wanted to send someone to walk with us, but we could make our way on our own.
Sin is the one who provides the paperwork.
He will look over the papers that you have from the Caligo Shirei. And I'm going to roll to see if he's smart enough to know what the fuck all this means. I love it. First roll of the year as a dungeon master, and guess what? It's a 1, baby! Can I get some 1s in chat? Can I get some crit fails in chat? Yeah, he kind of scratches his head. Hold on. And he wait there. And he turns around and goes into a little guardhouse where there is another individual. And he shows them the papers. And they are
look out at us,
conversing. Wave. Yeah, the one guard kind of looks at the orc. It was just like, and you hear them arguing. Can't you read? Yeah, I can read. And they're like back and forth. And the other individual comes out. It is a sentient undead man, zombie. Can't really tell what he was in life. It's a little difficult. You can't really see ears. There's a helmet that's kind of obscuring all of that. Probably medium build type individual. And he has the papers now. And he hands them back to you, Aurora, and he says, Madam, if you and your compatriots would follow me, we will escort you. And please understand, there is no free roaming through the residential districts without residence or invitation. But because you have these papers from the Caligo Shirei, we will take you to the Duke. And he will guide you. He will guide you through the rest of the city. So you walk through Mid-City, which looks to be a largely residential area. It's a bit nicer than the lower two tiers of the city. You estimate this to be more of like middle to upper class. You get to the next gate. And this gate is like a beautiful bronze, a polished bronze. The other gates are dark, cold iron, but these are bronze. And as the gates open up, they do not squeak. They are well kept. The other gates, not so much. As you enter into Sovereign Circle, and you see that this place is stock full, wall-to-wall mansion after estate, big houses here. You don't see a lot of people on the street here. You do see, those fences that are just iron bars, essentially, with pointy bits at the top. You see quite a bit of that. You see some yards that have large, beastly-looking canines that have fiery eyes, not like the festering, more like a hellhound. You see some homes are guarded by these creatures that are inside the fences, and as you walk by will stomp up or run up to the edge of the fence and snarl and hiss and growl at you as you come by. And you go through this very, very fancy neighborhood. And again, other than guards and yourselves, there's virtually no foot traffic as you continue on your way through Sovereign Circle. You then come to a gate that is made of wood, and it has a carved relief in it that details out what appears to be a masculine figure in a dark cloak, face shadowed, holding a woman in his hands, who appears to be dead. And as those gates open, the image splits in half, and you see large, open spaces here. But you do also see big temples, a couple of them, actually. But the thing that stands out to you the most, and I would say especially to you, Sin, is the square of this district, Pilgrim's Rest. In the center is a fountain, and there is a statue standing in the middle of this fountain, very high, very tall, a tabaxi. And the plaque at the base, if you stop to read, says, Valdin the Revenant, Lord of Hallowgate, Master Builder. May he rest in peace. You've never seen somebody like you in such an important figure before. And it's very striking to you.
I think Sin sort of looks, he looks surprised for a moment, and then he's like, we're very good at things, so I don't, he smiles, and he's just like, again, he sort of like is like committing the name to memory, and he's just like, may he rest in peace, but isn't he? Okay. Did you say the Revenant?
The
Revenant?
The Revenant.
Got you. Just
like
wanted to make
one
sure.
who died and came back.
Yes. And yeah, he's just I think he like looks and he's like impressed, and he's not really sure, I think, outside of like the Veil of Night where there would be a lot of tabaxi.
There's not a lot of you in the world.
Yeah. And so it's like it's like this weird like sort of camaraderie. Mm-hmm. And I think he looks very pleased. But he also knows that like that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that he's gonna be treated better or anything. He just seems like, oh, that's neat.
Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Just does the pyramid structure and the fact that there were gates to get to Mid-City mean that folks from the dregs can't access the Pilgrim's Rest?
Correct. Well, they can access Pilgrim's Rest if they are on a pilgrimage. They have to be escorted to make sure they don't go wandering in the residential areas. You get the sense that when the city was built, it wasn't necessarily meant to have been this way. This seems like a relatively, like, it doesn't feel natural to the flow that you would have to be escorted through the residential areas, but that seems to be the case today. It might not have originally been that way. But yes, people cannot go through the residential areas without invitation or stated reason and an escort through those areas to ensure that people aren't wandering and breaking into people's homes and things like that. I will say...
By the way...
Yeah, sorry. Please.
By the way, while we were walking through those residential areas,
as soon as we got
into Sovereign Circle, if anyone looked at Sin's eyes, they were like wide with like, oh, these people definitely don't need everything that they have. But as soon as he saw one of those hellhounds, it was like the loudest hiss. You guys have never heard him like be like do like that, but like as soon as there was a fucking dog, he was like,
Noted.
Yeah, no, as soon as those dogs showed up, so Daiyu wasn't holding onto like Kazu's armor or anything because we're going to meet fancy people, and she's not sure if that is etiquette over here or not. But the dogs change everything. She's like, nope, and she's just gonna cling to her fox because she don't like those dogs.
He does look down at you when you do that, but he doesn't say anything. He just lets you do what you need to do, whatever makes you comfortable. He's just allowing it. He's also staying quiet, and you can tell that he's keeping an eye on the guards. But yeah, as you look at this statue, Sin, this man is broad-shouldered, very strong-looking, holding a twisted staff that looks like a branch of some kind. And you can see in the base of the statue, which is the part that's standing in the water, it's like a cylindrical shape. It's kind of fancy on the edges. There's different like tiers to it, and there's little vines and things. And each ring of this column has a different scene. So you see forest, you see rivers, you see mountains, you see the sea, and at the top you see a graveyard, and then it's his statue.
I think he's gonna ask the guards a question.
He looks like a druid. Yeah.
Sin like says under his breath, of course he's a fucking druid. And then looks at Rev like, no offense.
I love this.
We know how Sin feels about druids in charge.
Oh boy.
Does not like them.
Did you say you were going to ask the guard a question?
You gave me the answer. He was going to ask, like, is the dude a druid?
Oh, that's not. Do you ask about the statue? Do you say that's the Duke?
I mean, I'm asking if it's the Duke, yeah.
So the guard kind of turns to you, looks up at the statue, because he was like kind of walking ahead a little bit. He didn't realize you stopped. He stops and turns around, and he looks at the statue and looks at you, and says, "Oh, no, this is the man who built Hallowgate. This is not the Duke."
Oh, sorry.
No, Duke Cavendish is not a tabaxi. But you'll find that out when you meet him, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Please, right this way. We shouldn't tarry, and he will guide you all further in. So you walk past the space. There are a few temples here, not many. Most of it is open spaces, and you see that a lot of these open spaces have tents, by the way. So people are camping out here, quite literally. And you move further into the city, past Pilgrim's Rest, and you finally come up to the biggest and strongest and newest looking gates, which are just outside of this castle. It is made of like a very dark gray stone. You imagine at nighttime it looks black, and very high walls, just like the rest of the city. I mean, the whole city is like a huge defense, cannot get in type of place, in or out, really. And you see this multi-tiered kind of castle at the top. And it's huge. It's big enough to take up its own 2 districts. And as you enter in, there are a lot of guards here. There's a lot of guards here. And they do, before they allow you through the gate, they speak to the guard. They check the papers that the guard has. They check your papers again before they even get about to opening the gate itself. So at this point, you are let into the gate, and you are now escorted by a set of guards who are wearing different armor than the one that escorted you up to this gate. So you are now leaving the care of the city guard and entering the care of the royal guard, is essentially what's happening. Their armor isn't overly fancy. Yeah, what's up?
I was just going to ask if we could kind of tell if there was a difference in amount of training or dedication to their position between the new set and the old set.
Sure. Absolutely. Give me an insight check.
Can I do the same thing?
Absolutely.
Yay. That's not a roll.
Probably
7.
open D&D Beyond at some point today. That might be
I'm
helpful.
very insightful.
Yeah? How insightful are you?
A 7.
Excellent.
16.
16, okay. Is that your total or the base roll?
My total.
Excellent. Anybody else? Oh, I guess it was just you two, sorry. Yes, Dayu, you can absolutely tell that these royal guards are much more experienced than the city guards. It's not to say the city guards aren't formidable in their own right, but these are stronger boys. So that is what you see.
Okay. Gonna lean over to Aurora, who's probably in front of me. So I guess I just go forward. And I will like whisper. They're like really big boys.
Like strong?
Mm.
Nice. I mean, good.
More trained.
So we're kind of in the big leagues now. It's the right place.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of feels like my house. Except fancier. And I don't say that a lot.
No house parties.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lean back.
Okay.
Kind of feels like he's trying to make up for something.
How is Revelation feeling about all of this? You're now in the midst of a lot of stone. Although you like that better than dirt, so.
I was gonna say, Rev prefers that to the nature. I think that she has worked hard to at least appear comfortable in all sorts of like society type locations. So they just look fine. They look placid. They look calm.
Excellent.
They look happier than they were trekking through the swamp.
Okay. I would imagine so, because the swamp was quite miserable, even if you like nature.
Yeah. It's pretty rough.
And Nikita, how are you reacting to all of this? You've been taken through a lot of very different areas of the city in a very short period of time. How are you feeling?
I think she's taking it all in, really just kind of, remembering where they're going as much as possible in case they need to go. Kind of perspective. She's keeping an eye on the guards, trying to carry herself kind of the way she did around the Veil Guard, but she's been distracted and mostly by Dayu's back. The scarring specifically, y'all. But
Bunny got back.
Oh my god.
yeah. She's been kind of just keeping track and really just, since she's all the way at the back, she's watching everyone in front of her. Definitely tried clocking Sin, making sure that he doesn't take anything.
Really? That's fair.
Absolutely.
You don't want to hear. Those are the big boys.
What?
The guards.
They're
They're like
big.
but they're like
Dragons are
way
big,
better.
too.
They're like, but that was one dragon, and that's like 20 guys around the corner,
That's fair.
and they're all like close to the Kira size.
If I showed you anything, and if Sin showed you anything, size doesn't really matter in that.
Yeah, but again, we fought like one thing. Every time we get like 3 things, it's hard. Remember
Well,
the swamp?
Yeah, the swamp sucked. but honestly, I'm just gonna be saying, probably don't want to talk like this around the boys.
Yeah, we're here for good reasons.
But y'all
Official
started
reasons.
talking like I just wanted to say they were really big guys.
When did
How
I start talking
big are
about?
they exactly? Are they like Nikita's height? What's going on here? Are they Nikita's height? I'm trying to like actually big, or are they just dressed nicer? Like,
so it varies. They're not all the
Right.
same size. There are a couple of the warriors here. The guards here are they're as tall as you. One is a little bit taller. They're all pretty beefy looking. One looks One looks a little bit more intricate than the others, in that the regalia that he is wearing is a little bit more thematic. If you're curious as to what that means, I will allow a check from Nikita, because Nikita is sizing these dudes up. So I'll take a religion check from you, please.
oh, I'm so good at that. All right. Is that plus anything? +1. That's a 10. Is that +1 or -1? +1.
You think it might be religious in nature. Maybe he's just really into fancy armor. You don't know.
Yeah, they're whatever.
You don't really subscribe to all that shit anyway. It doesn't really matter to you. So they escort you through this courtyard area. And as you are approaching the main doors, they actually open. And out comes an individual in a deep crimson cloak. They're dressed the same as the person you kind of saw from behind. But the individual that Kazuhiko described to you was a man. This is a woman. Tall, broad, heavily armored, crimson cloak, very clearly a beautiful woman with very long white blonde hair. She looks immediately at Kazuhiko. Ah, it's good to see you again, Lord Redfang. I see you've all arrived, and she looks at everybody. And I will say, as you are all processing and taking this in, Kazuhiko looks a little confused for a moment and says, Lord Hallowgate, it is good to see you. And you can tell that he is like, what the fuck? And she kind of arches an eyebrow a little bit, and as she looks at all of you and says, yes, you saw me in a different form yesterday. I tend to do that a little bit. So you're all here to speak with the Duke, or are you here for me?
A little bit of both.
Interesting. She looks at the guards and says, you can all toddle off now. And they, yes, my lord, and they will leave. Well, I can tell just by looking at you. We don't have to worry about security around the 5 of you, so 6 of you, I suppose. 7. Oh, 7 of you. Interesting. She's looking at Maylin.
I'm just, that gets a little visibly happier because it's just nice that people can see your sister, you know? And she's gonna, it's not just her. So Dai's like,
And she will exchange pleasantries with you all and introduce herself as Lord A. Hallowgate. Does not tell you what the A stands for. But prefers that you call her Lord Hallowgate. Not Lady, not Your Highness, not Dame, not any of those things. Lord Hallowgate. And as she walks with you down the hallway, she leads you inside and is essentially hijacking this meeting. As she does, and leads you into a side room, when she turns to sit down, he is a man again. Sits in a large chair, seats himself, crosses his arms and leans back and motions to the other chairs around and says, "Have a seat."
Sin is very quick to sit down and sort of like grin as if he's getting to business.
I go sit. I sit politely and quietly.
Rev will sit with an eye line to the door and to the Lord.
Opposite side, same thing.
Okay.
Aurora's up close with Sin.
Kazu will stay next to Dayu. Lord Hallowgate kind of looks to which one of you received the papers from the guards. It doesn't have to be Sin, because you would be getting them back from the castle guard, and they probably didn't know who had it originally. So who would have taken the papers? Anybody?
I'll go for it.
Okay. So he will look to you, Aurora, and say, "Let me see those, if I
There you
may." "Thank you,
From
my
our-
lady." And he will take the papers and look them over and reads over it, raises a brow again.
I assume you've heard of our home?
"Yes, I have indeed heard fairly quite a bit about your Veil of Night and the importance that it holds to society. That being said, they want you to speak with the Duke to go to the druidic place of power here. Did they happen to tell you where it is?"
In this city? As
Which
far as
one?
they could guess.
I see. It has been quite some time. Perhaps there are downsides to staying closed off from the world. I will tell you where you need to go, but that would require you to do a little something for me.
I gotta check the vibes here, which I feel like Aurora, her instincts are, this sounds perfect and easier than going the long way. But I do want to see if I feel right.
So you
about
want to
that.
vibe check him? Give me an insight check, yeah.
Can I also vibe check?
Yeah, please.
I want to do
13.
a vibe check as well, but not on him. I want to perceive the house.
We'll get to you in a second. So we'll do Rev and Aurora first.
I also want to try and see if there's anything interesting on his desk.
There is not a desk in this room.
Okay, I thought
You're essentially in a sitting room off to the side from the main
Gotcha.
hall.
26 for Rev.
Okay.
13 for Aurora.
Rev, this man has ulterior motives. Very, very clearly has ulterior motives. You get the sense he does not want you to meet with the Duke at all. He wants you to speak to him and nobody else.
I take it Aurora doesn't pick up on that.
You don't. You can tell. He's playing some kind of game. You can. That's what you can tell, Aurora. He's up to something. Something is afoot.
Then she'll counter. It sounds like you could be of great assistance to us once we've spoken to the Duke. And she says that like politely and sweetly.
I love
She
that that's what I
possibly
roll a
could.
20 on. He maintains his composure and looks very pleasant, despite you turning him down. Pity. I suppose you can meet with the Vice Lich if you really would like to, but he probably will not be as amenable as myself. Fair enough. I will take you to him, and he will get up.
Much appreciated. Like turns back to the group like,
He guides you through the hallways, which are also, there's guards, paladins, things of that nature here. Individuals who look like they might be of the magic user variety, but perhaps a bit darker. And you do eventually reach what seems to be like a hall. I wouldn't really refer to it as a throne room per se. It's not a big grand throne or anything like that. There is a little dais and there are chairs, but it's not like a big ornate thing. This seems to be like a hearing area that might be open to the public from time to time, where people would come to, seek aid or things like that. And you do see that there is a man sitting in a chair. He looks quite old, I suppose is the best term for it. Clearly not fully alive, and is just kind of hunched in his chair, looks a little bit bored. There are attendants off to the side, and when he sees you all enter the room, I would like everybody to make a perception check.
I can't roll for shit. 10.
21.
21, 18,
26.
26.
Dirty 20.
Okay. So you can tell this man sitting in the chair, who's wearing very nice clothes, which is hilarious because he's decaying very clearly, sees Lord Hallowgate and has to fight not to frown, sees the rest of you and puts on the face. Now, Dayu, I know you wanted to vibe check the building. I will take from you now I will take a wisdom check from you, please. So
Just straight like wisdom.
Yep.
Can
You're
I vibe
trying-
check Lord Hallowgate now?
You can, I suppose.
If you don't find use in it.
He has his back to you. He's not saying anything. There's really not a lot to vibe check just yet, but you might in a minute.
I got a 15 for the house.
For the house, this place is old. It's got good bones. There are definitely spirits here, but they have not made themselves visible to you, which means that they probably know you are here, and know what you are, and have chosen to stay away. You imagine they are very attached to the stone. As for general vibes of the feelings of the residual energy within the house, pretty neutral for the most part, leaning towards melancholy. Nothing evil, if that's what you're looking for. It's not like that here.
just gonna mumble, "Oh, the walls are alive.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty."
Good bones in this house, literally and figuratively.
Mm.
So you walk into this room and walk up to the dais. The guards look a little uneasy, but they see Lord Hallowgate with you, and they're just keeping an eye. The man sighs. It's like a raspy, punctured lung type sound. And he stands up very slowly and walks to the stairs leading down to the dais. And steps down. And as you realize while he is walking, his feet are not actually touching the ground. He is floating. All right, then. What do you need?
Pleasure to meet you, Duke. We are from the Vale of Night. We come on official business with the Kaligo Shire, and she'll present the papers, but also offer to summarize if necessary.
The customary position for people like yourself is to bow. He looks to Lord Hallowgate, who says, "May I present to you Duke Garrett Cavendish, Vice Lich, third of his rule, son of the Chosen of the Revenant."
And Aurora will take that opportunity to give her most flamboyant, graceful bow in return, and then rise up and say, "I'm Lady Incineratus of the Vale of Night. But you can call me Aurora if you so choose."
Sin apes the bow, and it's very messy, and it's not. As soon as he heard Cavendish, he's just like, "Why didn't we keep talking to Lord Hallowgate?" Like in his head. But he's already been super uncomfortable in the castle so far.
You get a very nice, deep, but polite bow from Dayu. She chooses to stay quiet because she's not sure how to address herself right now. And also, all she wants to do right now is actually talk about the house. So she's, yeah, so like, see her kind of maybe like open her mouth a bit and then just close it. And she's kind of enjoying herself. She's like looking at the walls. Her hands look itchy, but like not in like the way like, you know, like, oh, I gotta scratch it, but more like, I gotta put this on paper or maybe touch it, you know, like that kind of vibe. This is a really cool place for her.
Yeah, I think Rev does a very polite bow and introduces himself as Revelation, Druid of the Circle of Stars.
Okay.
Nikita will just do anything kind of customary that she saw some Veilguard people do, but in her own crap way, and just say her name, just her first name, Nikita, and that's it.
He allows you all to introduce yourselves, waits until you all show him the proper respect, given that he owns the city, quite literally, and just kind of wheezes a little bit and says, "I already know the contents of your papers.
Oh, good.
Unfortunately for you, It requires you to go to a place most unpleasant, one that I wouldn't even guide you to. There's no maps to it or anything like that. So if you're wanting to go to the druidic place of power, it's in the Undercity. And if you plan to go there, make sure you don't tell anyone. The people here will eat you alive. It's holy ground.
Literally, or?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Where
By-
then do your druids practice? On this holy ground?
The last druid to practice and hold any level of importance in this city was Valdin himself. So, with that in mind,
So there is no person to report to for the druids.
there aren't really many druid sects here anymore.
Ah,
Can I try and, like, very subtly catch Lord Hellegate's eye?
Roll me. Ugh. Let's see, you're trying to be subtle. Roll me charisma
Yes.
at disadvantage.
Okay.
And then we'll get to Dayu, who is raising her hand ever so sweetly.
I am raising my hand also in character.
Okay,
This is just charisma?
correct.
Okay. So that is a 17 instead of a 23.
Okay. At disadvantage?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I rolled a 19 and
Gotcha.
then I had to roll again and I got a 13.
Understood. He looks at you when you do that. He
And
does not look happy.
he does not look happy that I tried to catch his eye, or is he just
He just doesn't look happy right now. He's observing this conversation. You can see it in his face, and when you catch his eye, he is maintaining this somewhat sour expression.
I think Sin tries to make a gesture like can we talk after this?
He gives you a subtle nod. As that interaction is happening, Dayu you raise your hand, and the Duke looks at you. Yes. What do you need?
He said the grounds are holy grounds. Holy to whom?
You don't know anything about this city, do you?
Well, I didn't want to assume anything.
The Undercity is difficult to traverse, and it is also where Valdin's tomb is. Nobody has ever been able to map the place, and most who try go mad or end up dead.
I raise my hand again.
He's just looking at you like, say what you gotta say.
So, is there a reason, or is it because, like, the walls are alive and stuff?
He smiles. And when he does, you see his teeth are like black and gross and not all the right size, kind of fucked up. As I've never been down there, couldn't say. Legends say it's alive. The entire city, not just the Undercity. But He kind of shrugs. Nobody goes down there. And I myself have no desire to fight whatever lives down there. People who are desperate or stupid tend to go down there and try to live in the upper levels, but they are usually not heard from again.
Okay, you're gonna catch Dai. You're gonna catch Dai. You're raising her hand again, and then she stops. She actually literally lifts her other hand to stop herself.
You may speak.
I'm sorry.
Freely.
You just remind me of a teacher because you give a wise vibe.
You see green electricity start to crackle along the floor. You're running out of time. Hurry up and ask your questions.
So, if we were to go down there, out of character, this is me trying to word my question now that I realize. Yeah. So if we were to go down there, if we accidentally break something, are we gonna get in trouble for that?
What do you mean? In trouble for going into the Undercity? Good luck finding a way in. I suppose I could open a way for you, but...
I was going to request just such a thing if you would be so gracious.
He looks like he would much rather be doing anything other than speaking to you all. Oh my god.
We'll leave faster with a way to get out.
He thinks for a second. What exactly do you plan to do here? I read the papers. I see you were given some kind of task to check on the Druidic Place of Power. What do you intend to do if I open a way up for you? Tell me what you're going to do there.
We're going to correct any corrosion, corruption that might be with the Druidic Place of Power.
He seems amused by this. I see. Well, he looks at the papers again, because he hasn't given them back to you yet. And looks at you all. Well, I suppose if you die down there, it's not really my problem, is it? And he hands you the papers back, and he says, Hallowgate, get me the key, will you? And Lord Hallowgate just kind of, yes, my lord. And he will kind of reach into his jacket, actually, and produce a large key ring that has very intricate, interesting-looking keys on it. He kind of gives the Duke a look. Like, they exchange a long look at each other, and this somehow seems less confrontational than the energy in the room before. This seems to be one thing that they agree on, that this is probably not a good idea. And he will go through the keys until he finds the one he wants. And he will hand Aurora the key.
And what does this open?
It opens... You're staying in Weekend, right?
Yes.
It opens the Weekend entrance. Now, listen to me. And this is Lord Hallowgate speaking. Now, listen to me. You take this key. I will write down the instructions of where to go, which grave to stand over. You will say the words, and I will write on this paper. You will cut your palm and let the blood seep over the key. The gate will then open. Do not let anyone see you do this, and you must do it at the break of dawn. I'll write down the instructions for you.
Thank you.
I will be sure to send word to the Veil of Night and let them know that when you do not return, it is not our fault. They sent amateurs to go into the Undercity. How ridiculous.
Is that Hallowgate or the Duke that says that?
Hallowgate. The Duke kind of
Fuck both
snorts.
these guys.
The Duke kind of snorts at this and says, well, best of luck, I suppose. Just don't tell any of the locals you're going down there because it will be a problem for you.
Well, you think we're amateurs, but tell that to the giants and dragons, and she'll give them a wink as we turn to make our way out of here.
Oh, before we go, my lords, sorry, I was instructed to, do you guys like tea? Would you?
They don't deserve tea, Nikita! Fuck these guys!
I got this tea from Foxden for you. I was told by a very wise friend of mine in Okurai to present this for you as a gift.
The Duke looked like he was about to walk back up to his chair, and pauses. And he nods a little bit and says, I will accept this humble gift. And he will take the tea from you. You may have fought giants and dragons, if that's true.
It is.
Have you ever fought a city?
Not yet.
Well, if you make it out alive, I'd be interested to hear what you find down there. Even I, in my age and wisdom, would not dare.
Is there anything specific you would seek, my lord? Since we'll be down there anyway.
Well, if you happen to find a bell, he smiles, bring that to me. It is no ordinary bell, you'll be able to tell.
Or what reward?
Make it out alive, and then we'll talk about the reward. If it even exists, of course.
You'll hear from us soon.
He does not look convinced, but the Duke will actually turn away from you all and just go back up the dais. Lord Hallowgate says, all right now, your audience is over. Please follow me. And he kind of was like, come on.
Yeah,
Sin is gonna be the one leading this time, and he looks pissed.
So as you go through, and you, it's a little, where is it? I'm trying to find. I had a different song for this. I don't remember what it was. Whatever. I'm just gonna put this back on. I somehow forgot how all of my songs are organized, so I don't remember where anything is anymore. Because I have no memory. Anyway, he leads you down the hall. And once you are stepping outside of the door, you hear like crackling lightning. And you hear, Dayu, you hear the distinct rattling of bones and you hear, when you hear the sentinels, you usually hear like the sound of a water dropping into a puddle. You hear that sound. and it's uncanny. It sounds like a sentinel is here.
I just what?
Yeah,
Mm.
as you were walking down the hallway away from this room, and you hear all of this, even if you don't look back, like part of the hallway as you're walking away fills up with like sickly green light. And once you are away from all of that, Hallowgate kind of looks to you all and says, well, you got your key. Really not much else I can do for you at this point.
So this is the same thing you were offering when we were in our private tea?
Wow. Now that the Duke has spoken to you, there's really not much I can do for you.
All right.
Oh, okay. What sort of political bullshit have we gotten ourselves in the middle of?
Nothing to worry your pretty little head about.
All right. Then I have a question for you.
All right. I'll allow a
Who would
question.
be? Thank you. Who in the city would be interested in dragon remains?
Dragon remains. What sort?
Death dragon.
Death dragon. What sort of remains?
Bones
Bones.
and miasma.
Oh my gods. Okay. Where are you keeping that?
Been carrying it this whole time.
You have it with you right now?
Yeah,
You
I
didn't put it somewhere?
down.
Oh boy.
No, that seems irresponsible.
If I had known you had it on you, that would have been a different conversation entirely.
I was raising my hand real nice, holding it with the other. Like I was good. I was being good.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, God damn it, you guys. I forgot I remembered that you had it, but I forgot that you were carrying it with you throughout the fucking city. Everything that happened this episode would have been much different had I realized you had it on you.
Like a noxious torch.
Yes! Because it is very bad to be carrying that thing around. I need you all to roll Constitution saves, please, at disadvantage.
Yippee! So fun. Oh, shit.
Okay.
Oh my
thank
god.
I'm good at that. 16. Hopefully it's good enough. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't last time.
Roll
10
15,
club.
15 or higher. You want 15 or higher?
15 flat. Like
Oh.
well, not flat, but like I got like 15 on the dot.
Cool, let me roll some dice now.
God damn it.
Yippee!
What is
This is why we had originally planned to get rid of this before we rested, but we bathed instead.
We forgot.
Yeah.
We forgot. It's
We did.
okay. It's literally been 2 months.
Yeah.
I literally watched the episode 2 days ago, but I'm like, in terms of our characters, like at the time in that episode, we
Yeah, maybe
bathed
like
instead.
the to-do list was like maybe sell the thing, then talk to the Duke, but we kind of just
We fumbled
We're like,
a little bit.
Okay. So those of you who did not roll a 15 or higher, you take 8 you take 8 necrotic damage.
Okay.
And I wish I could retcon that whole thing and go backwards because this would have been very different.
It's
He
okay. Let's just
looks
say they didn't notice it till now.
No, they would have noticed it because it is literally pure miasmic energy. Like it's really fucking noticeable. Lord Hallowgate sees you holding this torch, sees the effect that it's having on some of you, and he literally does not ask, just takes it from you and says, "You should not have this." And he will raise a hand and extinguishes it.
I'm gonna sell it.
You're going to kill people carrying around things like this. And he drops the stick on the ground.
Oh, good. I thought I was gonna throw up.
I'm sorry. We were going to sell that respectfully.
Nobody would be buying that from you. They would be reporting you to the guard. So I did you a favor. What is your next question before I kick you out of here? You have your key. You didn't do what I had hoped you would do. Therefore, you've outlived your welcome.
So you
If
don't
there's
know
more,
who would buy
welcome.
Dragon Bones.
I want to sass him so bad, guys. I want to sass him.
Okay, sorry. I'm gonna stop. I want Alyssa to go because I want to know what Rev is gonna say.
Oh, Rev was just going to say, if there's more welcome to be had, well, listen to what it is you wanted us to do.
Too late now. Your timing is not impeccable. That's fine. You want to sell dragon bones. If you're looking to sell them or get them crafted, the artisan district is probably the best place for it. And if
Alright.
they don't work on dragon bone, which from what I understand is not very common, I'm sure they would be able to recommend somebody to you who does.
Understood. Thank you. And Sin is gonna just start walking away if he can get away with it. He is.
Oh
done
no,
with
the
this
guards
place.
are escorting you out.
That's fine as long as he gets to get out of this.
Yeah,
place.
they lead you out in a way. It seems that you might
We
not
got
have
our
caught.
instructions, right?
Huh?
We got our instructions, right?
I wrote 'em
on
down.
Where to go?
Yes, you have your instructions. I will, on our break, which is coming up here shortly, I will write them out for you so that you have them. Actually, I think it's close enough to 10 o'clock that we can take our break now. So
I wanted
we
to
are.
ask a question before we go.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Dayu, who's a little bit bummed about the miasma, will raise her hand because everybody else was talking.
You do this. Do you do this while Hallowgate's still standing in front of you? Or are you just raising your hand while you're walking with the group? What is...
Well, technically, everybody was talking and asking questions, so this is Dayu raising her hand to go next.
What is this raising hand thing? What is this shit?
Can you cut in? Because Aurora will not turn around and look at you.
Whatever. She'll just go, you have Bard colleges here. Can anybody go to it, or do we also need a, invitation or something?
I actually am not as... I've never really been to the Bard College except for performances. I'm not totally sure. I'm sure you could ask. It's not like they'll keep you from going on the grounds. They do allow visitors. So... probably
Okay,
fine.
thank you.
Not really an arts person. Alright, well, best of luck. And he hands Aurora the paper with the instructions. If you don't follow that to the letter, the gate will not open. And if anybody sees you doing it, they'll know what you're doing. So make sure you're stealthy about it.
Do you want anything there if we find it?
Don't bring the bell.
Mm-hmm.
What does it do?
If it exists, it does a lot of things. When are you planning to go to the Undercity?
Couple days time, get some rest, see if we can find anyone to work on Dragonbone, check out the Bard's College.
All right. I will send someone to meet with you either tonight or tomorrow. And I will tell you more about the bell. If that is the price of making sure you don't bring it back, I will tell you what it does.
Sounds amenable.
I agree.
The Busty Banshee.
Oh, yes, I know where you're staying. It's easy enough to figure it out.
It's cute there.
It is, I am told, a good time. And he looks at Kazuhiko and says, so, there with you, I noticed you stayed quiet during this whole interaction. And Kazu just kind of shrugs. Well, it's not really my place to lead this group. They are here of their own accord. They're the ones who have been chosen by the Clique of Shirei to do this. So, my lord, it might behoove you to show them the respect that they are due in terms of their job for the Veil of Night, which I understand has quite a large stake in the building of this city. So, if you would be so kind in the future, it would be appreciated. And Hellogate just kind of shrugs. He's not really used to having to show anybody respect, so he's just like, whatever. Yes, as you like. I'll send somebody to meet with you, and I'll tell you about the bell, perhaps, at a later time. If my messenger does not show up, you can assume that I'm busy and don't have time for you. What? Keeping an entire city does take up all of my time, you know. Now, off you tot. The guards will escort you to the other districts of the city. Enjoy the sights while you can, my dears. And he will take his leave of you.
Ominous, but okay.
Are we alone for the most part, besides like the guards?
Besides the guards taking you out of the
Save it.
Yeah.
Save it.
The guards are definitely, you are with the castle guards right now. You haven't been handed over to the city guards. You are being escorted the fuck away from the Duke's court.
No worries. We're good. I wasn't going to do anything or say anything. It's fine.
Yeah, literally. I've heard enough now.
great
Bugger
time.
off. I have real work to do. Exactly.
And Nikita.
I'm good.
Sin has so much to say when the fucking guards are gone.
The guards leave you pretty much as soon as you get to Mid City, unless you request to stay in Pilgrim's Rest for a little while. They will hand you off to city guards at that point. Like, you can hang out in Pilgrim's Rest, and then in order to leave Pilgrim's Rest, the guards will take you through residential and back to the others. So if you want to explore Pilgrim's Rest, you can.
Can we think about it on the break?
Yeah, think about it on break. So we're going to take a quick, I mean it this time, 10 minutes. I'm setting a timer. Everybody, 10 minutes. Get up, stretch, have your little snackies, get your little drinkies. Don't forget to hydrate, and we will see you in 10. Bye. And we are back. See, look, I told you, 10 minutes. So, we will say, during this time, did you decide whether or not you wanted to explore the Pilgrim's Rest?
Would there be libraries in Pilgrim's Rest, or is that more of a lower?
Not in that district. It's in a different district. Mm-hmm. Actually, I'm sorry. I forgot. Yes, there is.
Okay, I think Red would like to peel off and go to the library then.
Okay.
Sin would also want to spend some time in Pilgrim's Rest.
Okay.
Doing some rituals that he hasn't gotten to do in a little bit.
What am I saying? Pilgrim's Rest is the temple district. Could I just peruse the temples, see what they have here?
Oh my god, I have fruit snacks flying everywhere. Sorry. I'm an adult. I was hoping to finish these before we came back, but I didn't.
Listen, snacking is important.
If the DM gets hangry, nobody's happy.
Please eat.
That being said, yes. Please eat, don't kill us. So you are going to find the library. Sin and Dayu, you want to explore. Did I hear that right? While I was throwing fruit snacks everywhere.
And Sin wants to do some rituals.
Rituals.
He wants to talk to
Edem.
Edem, yep.
Okay.
At least try to talk to Edem. Who knows?
Okay. We're gonna let Rev go first. Because I've missed you so much, Alyssa. Sniff?
I missed you all too.
I didn't miss you one bit. I was stuck with you for majority of the thing.
Listen, not all of us are super special like you, Aki, okay?
It's just
Right.
Alyssa, guys. Oh my god. No, I'm joking.
I'm flipping you off on Alyssa's behalf.
Just Alyssa? Crazy.
Y'all don't even know what we just reported.
All right. Listen. Lock it up, okay? Reel it in. Including myself. So, Rev, you go off to find a library, which you quickly realize is actually a temple to Esherai, the Knowing. You come upon this marble columned building. It's beautiful in its simplicity. Very clean lines, very pale stones. And you see a large, heavy wooden double door, light colored wood, not treated or painted or carved in any particular way. But you do see set into the wall above the door is a circular wooden medallion type shape. And carved into the face of this is an open tome with rays escaping the pages. And anybody who has ever been to a library or has picked up a book or been to a book printing house, or shop rather, knows that this is the symbol of Esherai, the Knowing, the god of knowledge.
Is there god beef between Esherai and Furos, given their sort of domains?
I'm so glad that you asked. So yes, Furos, for the folks at home, is the Lord of Lies, the Lord of Secrets. And while you would normally think that the god of secrets and the god of knowledge would be at odds with one another, to your knowledge, Rev, that is not the case. Esherai is a neutral being and does not seem to get in conflict with other deities or creatures of any kind in history.
Wonderful. Then Rev will gladly trot on in. And I think she's just looking for books on the city's history, information about the founder, the Revenant, the Tabaxi Revenant, and Velden.
Oh. Okay.
And if any of them happen to mention any sort of bell.
I love this. I love that you are doing this. So I would like for you to roll me... Roll me... investigation as you search for this information in the library here.
I'm gonna go ahead and use a luck die.
All right.
I've got a bunch. Okay, that's better. That is a investigation.
Yep.
19.
Very good. All right. You are killing it with these rolls. You do find a book that appears to detail... it is a detailed collection of essays on the genius of the builder known as Valdin, who built this city and the Undercity. So as you read through this book, you find information about this person. He was he was a druid, of the Spore Circle, and was originally he is described as the Revenant in this book, which implies that he might have not been that way before. There are no pictures in this book, no illustrations, except for technical ones as it regards to architecture. But you understand that he was also referred to as the Second Sage, and was a figure of great importance in history. But because the book that you have found is specific to architecture, it does not expand very much. It does, however, mention that Valdin is essentially the father of Hallowgate, the city itself, built it after the Shattering, and was largely revered by the sentient undead of the world as its leader. And another title that you see in reference to him, you think if you keep looking through books, you'll find like more information about him. But you see that he is also referred to as the First. So one of his titles is the Second Sage, but he is also referred to as the First. With your 19, you do find another book. And this book, at first you think is unrelated to the topics that you're searching through, because it's a historical tome, but the section that talks about Valdin also mentions other sages. However, the section on Valdin specifically refers to him as the first of the sentient undead. He was the first, who was chosen by someone named Omira. If you would like to look Omira up, I will take another investigation roll.
That is a 9.
Oof. You look through, there are a lot of books here, and you have a very hard time finding this information. But it seems, from what you were able to glean from what you read, this man was an architect. He was a figure of importance in more than one way, given that he has multiple titles and is referred to as such throughout these collections of essays that are by different authors. So each of them refers to him in a slightly different way, but they're all talking about the same man. So yeah. I will say, actually, let me hold on. Let me check myself. I'm going to roll a little something to see if you find this. Oh, that's actually really good. Okay. You see a mention of a name that stands out to you. It appears to be the name of some kind of faction. You've never seen it before. It's called the Unsleeping Eye. And that is what you find.
Awesome.
Is there anything else you would like to do while you are in the library?
I think that's it. That's it.
Okay. Because there are priests and such kind of milling about.
If there's like a librarian priest type person, if I could ask about Omira, assuming that it's not some horrible thing to bring up, I will do that. I mean, I wouldn't know, so I will ask.
Sure. What you have noticed about the priests who are in this temple, they all wear the same garb, very simple white kind of tunic and white kind of leggings or pants, all white clothing. All of them, regardless of gender presentation, have shaved heads. much like yourself, Alyssa, and all have like very minimalistic looking. They're not wearing a holy symbol, but they are dressed in a particular way and present themselves in a particular fashion. And you approach one of these individuals. This person is an elf of some kind. And they look to you and how can I help you?
Yes, I'm new to the Hallowgate Necropolis, and when reading up on your city and your founder, Valdin, I saw mention of him as being chosen by Omira, which is not a name I'm familiar with.
Ah, that does not surprise me, as she is no longer, thinks for a second, considered to be a deity. So Omira was a mortal woman who fell in love with the Lord of the Dead. And upon her deathbed, they wed. She ascended to godhood, Omira did, and eventually the legend goes that she did not like to watch people suffer. She did not enjoy watching people who died before their time, before their predicted time, I should say. And so, as an act of defiance, the legend goes that she managed to somehow steal a piece of Nissos's power and used that to bestow life once again upon Valdin. And in doing so, gave up her existence because she could no longer bear to watch people suffer any longer. She was largely considered to be a saint in life, from what I understand, although there are somehow not very many texts left that discuss her. I imagine that is by design. She kind of looks up at the ceiling.
But the carving on the gate, was it, or like on a building of Nissos and a woman, is that her?
Indeed. It is.
I suppose, having been chosen, it makes sense that Valdin would, in some way, acknowledge.
They nod. Yes, my understanding is that there, beyond the gate itself, there is a shrine to Amira, although it is not attended as much as by some of the other priests and myself. We do kind of keep grounds a little bit. Since Valdin's passing, nobody really visits the shrine very much. It's just kind of there. As the builder of the city, I think he wanted to make sure that the person who gave him the gift of second life was commemorated in some way.
Could you point me to the shrine? I would be interested to pay my respects.
It is actually, I'm sure this was not meant to be a cruelty by Valdin by any means, but the shrine is actually in front of the Hall of Nissos.
I see. Thank you.
And as, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, if it's not rude to, actually, out of character.
Yeah.
Do I know about, like, how do undead die in a way other than, like, being murdered?
So it's a little bit unclear. Yes, they can be killed by others. to your knowledge, you don't know of other things that would cause a sentient undead individual to die. But given that they only have one body, perhaps if it decays far enough, that might be enough to cause death, but it is unclear from what you were just told by the priest how Valden died. So if you're wanting to ask that, you can.
Does it seem like it would be offensive to ask?
Given that you are new to the city and you are in a holy place dedicated to knowledge, no.
Okay, yeah. If it's not too rude to ask, I know Valden passed. How did that come about?
I believe it was age and strain. He was sentient undead through the shattering, to my understanding, when he and the other sages did what they needed to do to stop the destruction of the world. So, I believe he was sentient undead directly before that event. And I would imagine, since that was many years ago, several hundred, actually, more than 1,000 years at this point, he may have died due to age. It's actually not clear. I have studied a little bit about him, but his actual cause of death was not clear. It seemed to be from records of individuals who were close to him in life, or on life, I suppose, that he knew that it was coming. So make of that what you will.
I see. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course. If you ever want...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
She was going to say, if you ever want to find more information about legends, I have some really good book recommendations for you.
Do temple libraries lend out?
You are planning on staying in the city and returning your books before you leave, correct?
Of course, I'm just staying in the lower city, and the journey up is quite long.
Well, we do allow for some individuals to take books. I think someone like yourself who is seeking knowledge would deserve such a privilege. I would warn you that if this book leaves the city gates, it will be very bad for you. She smiles. So please don't steal the book. Please return it before you leave. I should hate to have to clean up all of the gore when the book is done with you, if you don't. And she will pull a tome off of the shelf, a thick tome, thick with 2 C's, and hand it to you. It is a very simple book, just like everything else here. Everything is very simple, very clean lines, not too ornate, not too gaudy, unlike the rest of the city, which is very lots of artistry in every aspect of this place. You've just been told that this book will kill you if you try to steal it. So just so you know.
I have made a note of that. Yeah.
We're gonna doodle-doot over to Dayu and actually, Nikita, what are you doing during all of this? Before we get to Dayu and Sen, what are you doing in this area? Are you walking around?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know where she would be. I feel like she just kind of like trail along someone's side.
Okay. Aurora. Aurora's just like me.
Because Aurora was like, this place is creepy and people are going to libraries and stuff and I don't know what to do. And so would
drink?
Exactly. Pester Nikita to try and find somewhere to grab a drink.
What do you think happens if the Duke burns his tongue?
It just doesn't feel like anything. Because it's dead.
I hope he has enough nerves to feel it.
I hope he can't taste anything. That would suck. Like, not even something really delicious. Like
Dead
the tea.
taste buds. Dead taste buds, just enough nerves to feel the pain.
Yes, that sounds nice.
Yeah. Drinks.
Yeah, we're just looking for anywhere we can get a quick couple of drinks while our friends do cool shit.
Unfortunately for you, there is not a tavern
Crying.
in the Temple District. But there do appear to be caravans of pilgrims here. Some of them have vardos, some of them have tents, some of them are, hanging out, and they seem to have, there seem to be, designated fire pit areas. Like, they expect people to camp here for a short period of time and then leave. Prometheus, thank you for a raid with a party of 2 sweet beans. Thank you.
Aurora's going to try to make
people.
friends to find the alcohol hookup
Okay.
at the campfire.
Roll me persuasion. That should be
Finally,
easy for a
something I'm good
sorcerer.
at.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. That is a 19.
Excellent. You are that bitch. You know exactly who to approach in the middle of a party who has the goods. So you do find some friendly individuals, and you get them to warm up to you, and they will share their drinks with you. They have wine, whiskey, things like that. So they will share with you and share food and conversation if you so choose.
You down for that, Nikita?
Conversation, not so much, but you could do that part. I'll drink.
If somehow there can be a musical element to the situation, or we'll kind of gravitate towards that area. But if it's just people chilling out and chatting, she will deflect from Nikita having to answer questions by chatting with everyone.
Best friend, then. And this is all while staying in this particular district, correct? Or are we...
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
You want to group up as soon as we can.
I'd like to check out the art district at some point, but...
I think we all do. Because Dayu said she wanted to look at the Bard College.
True.
And I kind of want to check it out too. It seems kind of cool. And also, I wonder what other kinds of art people do here. Like, are there undead dancers? I would watch that.
Maybe they do something with bones?
It's
Taxidermy?
a perfect percussion.
Yeah. Sorry.
I love this so much.
I'm sorry.
We're just speculating about the
I made
arts.
myself laugh with the taxidermy. I can't even lie about that shit.
I love it.
Yeah. Nikita's just trying to vibe as much as possible. It was so stuffy in there, so tense. She's just trying to vibe.
Yeah, these people just seem like they're happy to be here. Like, they've been traveling a long time to get to this place, and they're just happy to chat with people and sharing stories and experiences, and they speculate with you too. Like, oh yeah, I bet there are undead dancers here. That's got to be a thing, right? I mean, we're in the capital city for all sentient undead. Of course, there's got to be artisans and things like that, right? So they banter with you. Some people off in like another like camp area are playing like a little bit of music, just kind of entertaining themselves while they're here. Some people are meditating. Some people are sitting in quiet contemplation. Some children running around. It's actually pretty nice here. Like, it's very clean. There's not trash everywhere. It's not like the dregs. The dregs are very clearly not as well kept as the rest of the city is. But yeah, they're pretty free to speak. So if you're looking for rumors or juicy gossip, that is a opportunity. If you want to stew on that, I can skip over to Dayu and Sen if you like.
I would love to think on it.
Okay. Yeah, these people are more than willing to talk to you. So we're gonna over to Dayu, Kazuhiko, and Sin. Because I imagine the three of you are together, or did you split up?
I mean, I think we're all walking in the same direction.
You
which
are
is
walking in the
more
same
temple-y-
direction, yeah.
temple-y areas.
And Sin is definitely like, so what did you think of that old fart and the rude guy to Maylin? So I'm assuming, is Maylin with us too?
Well, I forget. Did we establish that she can make
Yes,
herself
ev-
visible here? I did for the
Yes.
sake of ease, because it was getting to be too much of a pain in the ass. Yes. So Maylin is. I feel like she kind of phases in and out when she wants to, but she's walking. She is walking next to you, Sen. Actually, as you guys are walking around, she hid herself while you were in the castle, but got spotted anyway.
Yeah,
That
it
Duke
just
guy
seems-
was kind of an asshole, huh?
Yeah.
There's something weird about that man.
I mean, besides being a lich.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, liches are just really old, right? Like, it's not.
Yeah.
So, GM note here: liches in this world are not quite the same as liches in traditional D&D. It doesn't require a shit ton of murder and torture and body parts to
Okay,
become a
good to
lich. It does, however, it does require some level of sacrifice, but not to the extent that you would expect in traditional D&D. But it does require somebody to be an immensely powerful wizard.
Gotcha.
Just because it's a little different, slightly different, doesn't mean that there's any difference in level of seriousness. You've also never heard of a vice lich before. You're not quite sure what that means.
Yeah, I mean, Sin's just like, we all have to die sometime. Someone who's put it off for that long and is that big of a coward, well. Oh, even I in my wisdom would never go down there. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Malin just kind of blinks. Wow, you have a problem with authority, huh?
Oh, incredibly. Kazuhiko is the only person with authority that I've ever could stand.
May looks at you and looks at Kazu and looks at you. Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, you heard Kazuhiko stand up for all of us. Good head on his shoulders. And he sort of like grins over at Kazuhiko.
He's like incorruptible, so not surprised.
See, that's a very great thing. Very big waste to be a noble then.
One of these days, we're going to need to unpack why you hate stuff like that. It's a little weird.
I don't think it is. Why would you trust anyone whose whole thing is like, oh, I deign to be so kind to my people that they are so beneath me that I keep them in different rings of the city where they must be completely herded like animals to see the temples and blah, 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 blah. What, they hide in their houses behind stupid dogs? No, there's nothing to respect about them.
Interesting line of thinking.
Yeah. I mean, again, like, the Veil of Night is better, in my opinion. And even then, there's people who lord their secrets above you and will always think they know better, that they know best. But when you separate yourselves from the people, you lose sight of what is best quickly, in my opinion.
I give Sin a pat on the head.
Just pat.
It's not even a pat. I think it's like a nice like a rub, honestly. I don't want to say I'm petting the cat, but like at this point, you are a fucking cat, and that is the motion that is happening. So it's not to demean you, but it's to comfort you.
Yeah.
And I'll just go. Do you want to hear how weird the house was?
Oh, yes. Because I was getting very... Well, I don't like places like that in the first place. But I was getting very strange feelings the entire time.
Mm-hmm. It's a sad house. I meant it when I said the walls were alive. There were ghosts everywhere. I think it's made out of bones. It had good foundation. And when we left, I heard something.
Heard something, and then he looks over at Kazuhiko, who can also, like, kind of, like, who is now, like, more experiencing these things, too. And he's just like, did you both hear something?
Actually, I'm good. When you point that out, I'm gonna also look to Kaz and be like, "Have you heard the sound of rain?"
In my life? Or...
after you started seeing.
He's just like, why are you asking me that question? Yeah, I've heard the sound of rain. What the fuck?
No, I mean after you started seeing, you know.
Oh. I mean, it...
Rain, but no rain. Like you
rain,
heard
but
rain.
No, rain sound, but not rain.
Yeah.
He thinks for a second. Other than in the hallway, no?
There. Yes.
Oh.
You might meet them. Some are nice.
Who?
And some are like real fucking stinky.
Who?
And some don't look normal. Let me fucking continue. I just squished his face so he stops talking. And his lips look like a duck. And I just go, so some look weird, and then some are nice, and then some are really mean, and then some don't like to talk to us at all. But they're sentinels of death.
Have you seen those things, Malin?
Malin, that's not me.
So you're saying this, you're squishing your boyfriend's face while you're talking to him.
Because he kept interrupting me, and now he's not interrupting me because I told him, and then I'll let it go.
That was a lot of explanation. Okay. Okay, I will keep an eye out.
Here, it's the sound of rain.
Whatever. You said that they look weird, so you're describing looks and sounds. I will keep my senses open. Why are we talking about this? How is it relevant?
Because they were there. In the house. And usually when one of them shows up, it means they've come to do their job and take all the spirits away. The ones that remain. It sucks. I usually pay them to do it. But, I mean, doesn't always work. I just find it funny that they're inside that house. Unless, I mean, if we hear that he dies, then that makes sense. But I don't think that's gonna happen.
Maylin will pipe up at this point and she'll say, I mean, wouldn't a lich have like a direct line to something like that? Right? So is it that weird that they would be there? I mean, I've seen them before, so it's not like they're kind of around in places where there's lots of death. Like a lot.
It's just more like my interactions with them for my entire life. I've been wavy. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes, like they're really, really chill, and they'll even, answer questions and stuff. And then the last one I met was so mouthy.
Is that what happened right after Blockade?
I brought him, yeah. I mean, I didn't mean to.
No, I mean, no, I was just really worried about you back then.
Had
So
a
I just
whole,
wanted to understand.
he was mad, but also, what am I supposed to do about that? Just
Maylin looks like she's gonna say something and then just shuts her mouth.
don't start nothing. It's just, yeah. I understand they have jobs, but they might have other purposes too. They're not very chatty unless I bribe them.
Is that why you never had money in Okurai?
That's why I went and put a coin in the mouth. Sometimes I like to think that they're like crows, and if I put something shiny in the body, they'll be like, "Oh, time to go." But also sometimes they come and they can't talk at all because they're like dogs or something, and it's like, "Oh, well, I can't blame you for anything. You're just a dog, Woof."
I think Sim is just looking at Dayu with like something akin to amazement and very, very like a big bit of fondness. Like he is just like, this Dayu is the best. Is just that face that he has, and he is just like he's just very like feeling mushy. It's very obvious.
So yeah, house looked alive and so sad. Maybe the Undercity's gonna be like that, like full of bones. And if it's alive, like maybe we can talk to the walls. I mean, like whoever lives in the walls.
Yeah, maybe they'll help us move through them a little bit more easier.
Oh, or they yell at us. I hate it when they yell at us.
As you all are having this conversation, I imagine at some point in the midst of conversation, you've slowed to a stop because you stopped to like do the thing to Kazuhiko, and you've taken your surroundings, and you are standing in front of another fountain. The statue in this fountain is not standing up on a dais. It is a woman who is kneeling in the water. And she is reaching down into the water, and it's like she is like holding her hand like she's cupping something, and the water is springing forth from her palm into the rest of the fountain. It is a beautiful elven woman.
Does it have like a placard?
It does.
What does it say?
It says, Omera, Death's Bride.
Um, Sin like takes a look and is just like sort of like peering and is just like, is this the woman on the gate?
Kazu kind of like squints at the statue and looks at the placard. Yeah, it looks the same. Is it weird if I say she looks familiar? I feel like I've seen her before.
I just start shaking him.
Ah! What?
Like your dream? One you can't remember?
I don't know.
But you started doing this?
She
and
looks...
I gesture to the eyes, and I start doing this with my hands.
I just said she looks familiar. Maybe I've seen another woman who looks like this. I don't know.
If you saw another woman who looked like that, I really don't think you'd forget her. And it says as he's like, he sits down next to the fountain and he starts fishing through, like he takes off his whatever I call it, the wrap, and starts like sort of like flicking through his holy symbols until he finds the one for Nissos.
Okay.
Which is a dyed black leather cord that has a metal crafted skull that looks like a tabaxi skull, not like a human skull. And has like little like smears of black coming from the eye sockets. And he sort of looks and is just like, I wonder if you miss your wife. And he like sort of like leans down over the fountain to like run the metal through the water, like cleansing his holy item like he usually does.
Are there coins in the fountain?
There are.
Okay, I'm gonna toss one in. And just... Nice. I don't wish for anything. I just want to be respectful.
Sin, I would like for you to roll a D100, please.
Okay.
First D100 roll of the year. Let's fucking go.
I love just saying random shit to gods. Because you never know when they're going to pick up.
Roll for feels.
Roll for feels. That is an 89.
Okay. What do you do with the holy symbol?
After I wash it in the waters, I sort of put it back in my hands to dry it with my wrap.
For a moment, you think you feel something, but it's fleeting. Something else you notice about the statue is that though she is kneeling in the water and she's holding her hand, like her hand where the water is pouring forth from is just a little bit above the actual water, so it's not making a lot of noise. In her other hand, in her lap, is a bell. But it's stone, like the rest of everything else. Magic Academy RPG, raiding with a party at 22. Sweet beans. Welcome in, everybody. There's a big old raid. Thank you. The gates of nerd and queer have opened. Oh my god, I love that. we definitely welcome you on in. Thank you for trusting us with your community. I'm loving the vibes. You're matching our vibes. Very queer friendly here in this house. Everybody on the screen is one of the gays, as you can see. If it's not abundantly obvious by the fact that half of my head is shaved and I have tattoos on my hands, nose ring. Listen, if it's not any more obvious than that, like, come on. Gays unite. That's right, baby. Let's go. Welcome in, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, I am Mandy. I am the Game Master. This is my channel, and these are my lovely players. They're amazing, and we are in the middle of some reveals, so we're gonna get right back to it. So yes, she is holding a bell. The statue is. It's also stone like the rest of her. It's solid. There's nothing like special about it. But that is what she has.
Mandy, you said
Yes.
I feel something. Was there any definition of what I felt? Or
Like
just...
like a presence. Like you've been noticed.
I think Sin sort of sits up. He straightens his back. And he's just sort of like looks at everyone and is just like, did you feel that?
Who did you
have
ask?
to be so much more specific.
Oh, I'm asking the group in general.
Okay.
And then Dayu, who is Dayu, answers that.
No, it felt like when I wiped the holy symbol off, like suddenly someone was looking at me. And then he like looks around at the people, maybe like at the nearby tents, or if anyone else is nearby.
Mei Lin, in her ghostly little way, just kind of pokes you. And then points to the building behind, on the other side of the fountain, which is a large black building.
Oh,
That might be why.
yeah, I mean, literally, I had and then he like holds up the symbol of Edem. This was not original. I'm sure you might have heard as we've walked through. You know, I made these myself, so I'm very surprised when they notice.
Might have been what you did.
Oh, you go. You're talking. Keep talking.
She was going to say, well, he's not very talkative. So maybe that's all you'll get.
It's fine.
Well, you talk to him frequently.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
No, but I know he exists. I did have to study him as part of my studies for Luna Seren.
Mm.
You know, when I was going to go do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kind
Don't
of
be
still
so-
do. It's just not while I'm alive, so it's different.
Well, I hope he's okay. I know what it's like to miss someone very dearly.
I think he's lonely, but he would never tell anybody about that.
If it
That's a
helps, he's
shame.
hot.
What?
What?
Maitland is like, what the fuck? What? What do you
Have
mean?
you
Like, how hot?
seen
Like,
him?
scale of 1 to 10. Like, hotter than Kazuhiko
Oh,
hot?
No. I just very fast no.
It's a
But-
god. How could he not be hotter than Kazuhiko if he's hot?
Well, I don't, you could say he's hot, but he might not necessarily be, like, godlike hot. Oh my god.
think-
You know what? I cannot with you guys. I'm gonna go walk around. You do whatever the fuck you guys are gonna do. I'm gonna go explore and see if I can talk to some of the other spirits here. She's gonna flit off.
Be safe. If you feel weird, you
Yeah,
come
yeah, whatever.
back. Okay.
Sin looks at Kazuhiko and he's like, no offense. You're a very handsome man.
I
Like, a god? Probably hotter than you.
mean, I can't really imagine, even if mortals resemble deities in any way. I don't think the two are comparable.
Oh, that's fair.
Anyway, I don't really care about all that. He just kind of...
He's just a good looking dude.
Yeah.
He's got a good face. It's a little bony, but like that makes sense.
I mean, so does he? So when I was little, everyone told me that Nissos is probably a tabaxi because there used to be legends that we used to have 9 lives. Now, which is why I've made the symbol into a tabaxi skull. Was he a tabaxi? Did he look like a tabaxi?
No.
Oh.
But I think you making it a tabaxi skull is really cool. That's like a nice personal connection to it. I would have made it a bunny.
That makes sense.
Bunny.
What else were you guys? Were you guys looking for something specific over here? I know Sin was gonna do some ritual stuff.
Which honestly, we can like. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I was actually gonna go look and be like, is there a place for Nissos? It probably is, and then if so, I wanted to go check it out.
It is
because usually there are no places for Nissos.
There
like there are, but like this seems like a real dedicated place, you know?
There are, but as you already know, or at least as far as you're aware, there are temples to Nissos, but there never seem to be attendants in these temples. So you can go inside, but it's empty. It's an empty building. There is a statue of Nissos in like a sitting area, like pews. And there is a large statue of a hooded figure with no face. So it's there. It's pristinely clean in there. Not a speck of dust anywhere.
What is in there besides just statue? Or is it like I'm having a little bit trouble imagining it because I'm just picturing it like a Catholic church, and I really don't know if that's the vibe.
It is a little bit like that, but without that kind of iconography. It black painted building. Some of it is stone, some of it is wood. It's kind of like a mixture. The doorway is a large archway. And as you go in, all of the stone in the floor is dark brick of some nature. Stone pews, so even the pews themselves don't have like any level of comfort to them, probably intentionally so. And as you go to the front of this long room, there is a massive statue, probably 15 feet tall or so, of a masculine individual with a hooded cloak on, holding a scythe. And when you get close to the base of the statue, you can see that while the face would have normally been in shadow, if you look directly up at the face from the base of it, you can see that it's carved in such a way to show that part of the face is veiled in shadow, but the other part of the face is a bit of a skull you can see, and you can only see it from that angle. So, and there's also like a slab at the front that you would normally think is some kind of altar, but you realize this is where somebody would probably process a dead body. So the intention is if you are laying on the slab, that is the only thing you see is the face of Nissos.
So my true intentions of this, besides seeing if it's actually fucking there, is, so I'm trying to find a way to be semi-closer to Nissos. My guy left me with a lot of questions, and he sucks at giving answers.
Yes.
So it's sort of like I can feel close to Ilunasera, and just by being under the moon and stars, you know? So I'm trying to find a way to connect in a sense. Without me like I'm in the city of death, my senses, I'm already like boom boom, okay? But like that's just me as a person. I don't necessarily view that as a connection to him until he told me so. And now I'm trying to actually seek out other means because it feels a little redundant when the whole city is like this little beacon. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I can do. If that makes sense, you know?
So the intention here is to get his attention, get closer to Nissos, because you want to talk to him again. Okay. So you are standing at the base of the statue. Are you just looking up at the statue? Or are you doing anything in particular?
Well, I do look up at the statue and go, well, that's really cool. Because that's a cool thing for a statue to have. One second. Am I gonna fucking do it? Am I fucking do it? Evens if I do it. Evens I do it.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna go lie down.
You're gonna lie down on the slab? Okay. So you, if you'll excuse the pun, you hop up onto the slab and lay down on the cold. You realize this is different stone than the rest of the room. It's like a black granite. And you lay on this and you look up at the statue. What are you doing now that you're here? Take me through the logic, and I will tell you what to roll.
I'm gonna. I already know that it has to be different from how I connect with a Lunasaur, because Lunasaur is so fucking open.
Oh, she's easy to talk to. You could talk to her right now if you wanted.
Yeah, exactly. I do it at night under the moon and stars because it's fucking easier. Okay, it's like the cell reception is great around that time.
Yeah.
And I just beep beep beep, tell mommy hi. Like, and she's like, oh, what's up? You're my favorite. Like that's it. Like it's great. It's great. This is on the other hand is like is like, but oh goodness. So I think I will try to connect the same way when I am trying to connect more with actual spirits. I'm just gonna really focus on opening up all of my senses. I am very prepared to overstimulate myself. I'm close to it. I'm just doing everything that I know is. God, I'm opening all the windows basically.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what would be a good thing for you to roll for this.
I mean, I am a spirit bard, so performance could be one, but yeah. I'm open to anything. But I am specifically a spirit bard.
I will take performance because you are assuming the position, as it were, and that is a form of performance, given that you are making yourself in the position of somebody who's dead. You are a body for processing, and you are opening your senses while in this space, which normally any living person would never lay here. So I'm going to say, yeah, give me a performance check. I'll allow it. You make a good case for this one.
Thank you.
Usually I don't say yes when you want to do performance, but this feels right.
Not 20, so
Let's
30.
Go.
The fuck, bro? Me and gods?
Okay.
Me and gods?
Yeah, you and gods. It's true.
God's favorite princess. That's me, specifically Aki.
Okay, princess. We'll get right back to you in just a second. We're gonna back over to our festive little pilgrims over here who are getting some vino veritas from your friends, the pilgrims.
Yeah, we getting our drink on. And in the midst of that, Aurora's gonna try to see if there's any rumors or gossip going around about specifically the Undercity, with the hopes of, like, because these people aren't locals, they're gonna be a little bit more free with their.
So you want to
What
ask
they've
them
heard.
about the Undercity?
Just like if they've heard the rumor of like a creepy secret place below here, like in a very like this is an urban legend kind of way. Trying to maintain a level of secrecy.
Okay. So what exactly are you asking when you are talking to these folks?
I've heard that the city was built by this really fancy and interesting guy who had all of these secret secret buildings that he had as part of this place. Have you heard anything about that?
The person who built the city? Valdin? I mean,
Sure.
he's only one of the sages. Like, it's kind of a pretty commonly known story. I guess for, like, older people, like my grandparents told me about it. People don't really talk about those times too much, though. As the GM looks through notes. Excuse me.
Okay, I feel like Aurora's like, freshening up their drink, like, laughing at their comments about their grandparents, adding in a little anecdote to encourage them to continue freely.
The kid is just standing next to you, like, standing emoji drinking.
Got my guard dog.
So, yeah, you really do. He was the second of the 6 sages. You really never heard the story? Your parents never told you this?
I come from like way far out. We have very different stories that we tell to children.
Oh. Okay. Well, legend has it that the 6 sages are the ones who put a stop to the obscuration. So, fire and darkness and world-ending things. So they, saved the world. It was a long time ago, so people don't really talk about it very much. I mean, it's been, gosh, what is the date? The GM asks.
So they're like ancient legendary heroes?
Yeah. Well, I guess it's been like 1,500 years.
1,564 years.
It's been 1,500 years since the shattering. So, they were around at that time. The shattering, they caused the shattering. The obscuration was all the bad stuff before the shattering, and then the shattering happened, and all the stories are kind of fuzzy around that. But yeah, he was one of the people who did that.
So kind of a big deal.
Yeah, definitely a big deal.
Wow.
And he built the city. Well, Valdin did. I can't really speak to the other ones. Hello, Raiders! Welcome, everybody from Distals. So, yeah, kind of shrugs. So you wanted to know about the city, like why he built it, or?
Yeah, like I hear, it's kind of interestingly constructed. It's also like kind of weird coming up to this part because, we're staying down in the lower part, and it's very different up here than it is down there.
Oh, yeah. Last year when we were here, they didn't have to escort you. You could just walk here to this district. So something must have changed. Maybe a security problem? I don't know. The guards are nice to us, so it's not like it really matters. They know that we're here to be pilgrims. We're not trying to rob people's houses or anything. So if, you know, we're coming here with honest intent, they take us to where we need to go. We camp here for a few days, do our thing, go back home, and then do the pilgrimage again next year.
So you've been coming every year?
Mostly, yeah. When the times allow.
So before you needed an escort, how long had you been coming?
I don't know, a few years. Since I was old enough to join, anyway.
What do people say about the Undercity?
Well, I've heard that it doesn't really exist. Some people say that it does. Some people say that it's cursed. Some people say there's a giant monster down there.
Monster?
Yeah.
Spooky. I love a monster story.
Well, I don't know, some kind of shadow thing. I don't really know. I'm not really like a fighter. I've heard a lot of different things about it, though. Like, it's either a monster or the whole place is alive and it's always moving, and that's why they can't make maps of it.
Wow.
They say that anybody who's tried to go down there doesn't come back, so...
They're really trying to scare people off, huh?
Oh,
it's probably all a big lie.
I mean, that's assuming that there's anything down there other than just sewers, like... It's probably just a legend, right? I mean, I've never heard of anybody going down there.
Me neither.
Well, if enough time passes, then wouldn't, wildlife and things kind of take the area back, and there might be some kind of ecosystem that people don't know about at this point. If they just let it alone. If they left it alone.
If there's anything even down there. I mean... I'm a person of faith, but it sounds a little weird that there would be a whole city underground. A whole city underground? Under this city.
That moves, apparently.
That moves and has monsters and all these things and all this stuff. And apparently, there's like all kinds of stuff going on down there. So... if nobody who's been ever comes back, there's no maps of it, anybody who's tried has never come back or couldn't finish it or went crazy or whatever, like, it just sounds kind of like a hoax to me. I don't think it exists.
Do you know anyone who tried?
Oh, no. I'm just from the Amaria Wilds. Like, I tend to stay in my lane, on my side of the world, but yeah, no, we don't usually stay here long, usually like a week or two, then we go home.
It's always fun to hear those kinds of things, never know. Adds fun to the story, right?
Sure. I mean, the legends are kind of fun to talk about. It's fun to speculate. Maybe there's a dragon down there. Maybe there's a basilisk down there. Maybe there's a legion of zombies. Who knows?
Nikita's trying to contain the excitement in her eyes.
It's just like patting her to keep still.
Maybe there's a giant maze down there. You don't know. Maybe.
Ooh, that would be really fun.
Cool,
but it would also be scary because, like, if it was dark, like, wouldn't it be dark underground? So
Probably.
You've been in, like, a dark place with a ton of dead ends. It, like, sounds totally horrible. It just looks fun to me and Nikita.
Yeah,
So,
imagine
like-
being stuck in a place like that. No light, no food, no way to get out. Ooh, that's terrifying.
She'll nudge Aurora. Yeah, horrible being in a room alone with me, quiet, at night, dark, alone, no way out. Anyway.
The pilgrim looks between the two of you like, do you guys want, like, privacy or something?
It was a joke. It's an
right
inside joke. Sorry.
Oh. That's a little bit gay, isn't it?
More or less.
Fair
Very.
enough. I say
Is
in
the
character.
Aurora Wilds, Wisconsin? A little bit gay, isn't it?
Look at it. And it is British.
Uh,
What is Britain but the Wisconsin of Europe?
Get out of here. You're gonna offend a lot of people with that. Where's
No,
the
we gotta
that's gay
put that
emote? We really need a that's gay emote for this channel, really bad.
We also need to put that
need
out of
it.
context.
If there's any emote artists out there who want to help me make a that's gay emote, I can't make emotes to save my life. I'm not great at it. So if anybody out there wants to help, I'll accept the
It
help.
needs to be Dayu saying it.
That's so complicated for an emote.
It's fine.
Just put a little bunny in the corner. That's gay, bunny face.
We'll save that for the merch
Anyway.
then.
Yeah.
All you need is all you just need is the little tiny bunny, and then like a thought bubble or something with the pride flag.
Okay, all right, moving on. It's so complicated for an emote. We'll figure it out. We'll workshop it off stream. Yeah, you continue this conversation, and they just continue to tell you more wild and wild rumors to the point this place does not sound real. The Kaliga Shire said that it's definitely in this city, but is it the Undercity or is it something else? You're not sure. And now we're going to back to Revelation. What are you doing right now?
Yeah, I think the other thing Rev wanted to do now that she's heard about it is check out the shrine to Amira in front of the Nisos temple. Is the shrine the fountain or is it something else?
So the shrine to her is the fountain, yeah.
Okay, cool.
People leave coins and flowers and things like that.
Yeah. Rev will take note of the bell. And I think we'll just go ahead and toss a coin in. But that's all I wanted to do up here.
Okay.
Just so you know, at that fountain, Sin is now, again, shirtless and just sort of like laying out all of his holy figures, like right by the fountain.
Are you in the fountain now, or are you just
He's
okay?
sitting
I
on
was
the edge
like,
of the fountain.
okay, on
He's
the edge.
just like he. It's just easier like to like deal with everything when he's shirtless because like Jesus Christ, there was the corset and the button. Like now he's just like, okay, this is too much, especially to see these fuckers.
Well, I mean, if Sin is there, I will ask, what are you working on?
Oh, so, kind of like when I did at Blackade, whenever I get a chance, I try to do a little prayer to my holy symbols.
Oh, have you heard anything?
I mean, back in Blackade, I was led to the Temple of Edem, which was very strange, and I didn't get to show you. I still feel bad about that. And then, apparently this is Nissos' wife.
When Sin says I was led to the Temple of Edem,
Yeah,
do
I was just
hear
gonna-
that or do I hear static?
You
Okay.
hear static because you gave up that memory. You don't hear what he actually says. You see his lips moving, but you don't. You don't know what he said.
comprehend.
Stella Luna reading with the party is 16 sweet beans. Welcome in,
hello.
friend. Hi. Hello. Welcome in, everybody.
But yeah, and then he continues with like, and then recently, right now, I mentioned that Nisso probably misses his wife, their wife. And then he like looks contemplative for a long time, and then just sort of like shakes it off and like shows Rev, the Tabaxi skull, item that he, little necklace that he has, and it's just like, I washed it and I felt noticed.
She did steal from him. I don't know if that's the type of notice you want necessarily.
There's a lot of things you can forgive when you care about someone.
Straight to the heart.
Ow! Ow!
Actually, that's a good question. Did I learn how she died? Like, was that part of this conversation at all?
She gave up her life to give
She gave up her.
Valden's.
Yep, she gave up her life to resurrect Valden because he died before his time.
Okay, cool. I still have stole a piece of his power, and in so doing, gave up her.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
She stole power from Nissos and used what power she had as a minor deity to give him life.
Cool.
Sin does not know any of that.
Yeah.
And so he's just like, oh. Yeah. I mean,
Well, I hope you have productive prayers.
yeah, my worship of the gods, I feel, is very different from the others. Mostly because I feel like they'll actually provide answers. It's also very weird being here. And then he, like... Can you see the Fountain of Valden from here?
From where you're standing?
Yeah.
No, it's blocked by, like, some bushes and things like that. It's, like, there's separation from the different sections, like, with greenery and things like that.
Gotcha. Sin gestures vaguely in the direction that he knows the Valden's Fountain to be in.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird finding some sort of... No offense, but I don't like druids. You know that?
I never would have guessed all of those attempts to break into the archives.
Yeah. Well, beyond them, knowing that they have information, I know my parents are druids. I'm pretty sure that they were the Circle of Dreams and the circle of something else that I wrote, and I had it up. Damn it. Haha, Circle of Shepherds. And it's interesting to feel connected here, but feel very outside of everything.
I mean, obviously, there's no one really around to ask here, but those circles in other countries in Elysia, as we continue this quest, they might be more willing to share than Okurai was.
Maybe. I am just... I'm worried that the reason that everything has gone wrong is, what if this place is just like all the others? It's a place that hasn't been maintained when we thought it has been. What if outside of the Veil of Night, the druids have just not been here? What if them and their stupid ivory tower is all that's left?
Mandy, have I interacted with other druids from, like, outside of Okurai?
Given that you haven't spent very much time outside of Okurai, no, not really.
Okay, so there haven't been, like, contingents that have visited or anything.
No, if there is any of that, it's not anything you would have been privy to.
Yeah. That's a grim thought, given our quest here.
I mean, why else send us? I'm sure if there were anyone else, they definitely wouldn't have chosen me.
Even just to get you out of the city?
I am sure that Tani is giving them so much trouble right now that they wish that I was back.
I can't argue with you there, but I'm glad that you're out here with us.
I'm glad too. I was really scared at first, and it would be stupid not to still be scared. But I don't know, I never expected to be in a place like this. And I'm happy I'm here with you.
It is a strange place, isn't it?
Incredibly.
I don't know what I was expecting, but I don't think it was this.
Well, we can move forward together.
Happily.
And I think he gathers up his symbols and doesn't finish with the ritual. I think he's more focused on spending time with Rev.
Excellent. And on that note, we will return to Dayu. Dayu, as you lay here on this granite slab made for the dead and open up your senses, you feel the sensation of sinking, of falling backwards. And it's almost like that feeling you get when you are drifting off to sleep and you feel almost as though whatever it is you are laying on is falling away from your back. That strange sensation that you get where you fear you might be falling, even though you are not in danger of doing so. And your vision dims slowly. The darkness creeps in until you can still feel the stone beneath your back, given that your back is exposed. It's cold. And it gets colder and colder. And you can no longer see. There is only pitch blackness, but you can feel the stone beneath your body. From the darkness emerges the statue. As it moves its head to one side, as though it is stretching its neck, and stretches another time. Pulls the hood back. Suddenly, no longer stone. And you see a face half gone, just blackness. And a face half skull. Same as the statue. As he leans down, looming over you. What is it that you need?
Oh my god, it worked.
I don't think you realize what you have just done.
Oh, well, I think I'd be able to realize it if people would actually tell me things.
You're awfully entitled, you know.
You gave me this power when I was baby.
And you have no right to demand my presence. Damn near killing yourself in the process.
Oh, you think I care about that?
He sighs. Big statue hand just kind of... I could take it away.
No.
So
I'm
you
scared.
complain about not having answers. You complain about this gift that I have given you that you will figure out on your own. And yet you still demand an audience. You demand answers. You think you are entitled to such things.
Actually, I haven't really been doing that since now. I'm 22. I think I made it pretty far without asking you for anything. Even now, I'm not sure what it is. I just wanted to be closer to you, but okay.
Why?
Well, you said I was gonna figure it out on my own, and I thought this would be one way too. And I'm already close to one god, so I thought if I'm supposed to do something for you, does it make sense to want to get to know you?
It is not a good idea. For you to be doing this. It will be bad for you to keep reaching out like this, so do not do it again.
Well, then how should I reach out?
Don't.
Well, that's unfortunate.
If you hadn't done what you've just done, by the way, you're not supposed to touch the slab. It's not for you. You're still alive. It is the only reason why I'm here, because you did something very stupid. You need to stop reaching out to me. You are not dead. It is not your time. It is not my place to be close to the living, even one like yourself. Please understand. I have my place in the world, and you have yours.
Well, then what was the point of the gift? Because I thought that's what the whole purpose of it was. You made me a lighthouse.
I told you already. You will figure it out. Have some patience. 22 is not that old.
Well, neither was 19, but...
If you do something like this again, I will just let you die next time. Even if it screws up my plans. So don't do it again. Go talk to your deity, and it is not me. When you wake up, there will be some pain. Sorry for that.
It's okay. Well, then goodbye.
And that after that you no longer see anything. Closest godly flip phone, yeah. Your vision fades. The rest of you why is this doing this? Whatever. The rest of you go about your time, and you realize that Dayu is not anywhere to be seen. Sin, you know where Dayu went, so I presume you would go looking for her.
Yeah.
When you do, She is on the floor, unconscious.
Sin was like super easygoing and then kicked into high stress drive and just sort of yells back over his shoulder for Kazuhiko as he like runs forward to like check on Dayu.
Oh yeah, like fucking lightning immediately at your side.
Mm-hmm.
And
sorry.
Yeah, no, he immediately like if you don't, he will immediately scoop Dayu up. God,
I think
she's freezing.
Yeah, and I think sort of Sin is he had his like wrap like half over his shoulder and just sort of like tosses it like onto Kazuhiko and is like looking around like who could have done this?
Yeah, he like he's holding her, he's wrapping her up, and looking around kind of frantically as if there was anybody else here, and there is not.
I mean, so Rev had followed Sin. So I think that after a moment of exasperatedly watching them deal with this with blankets,
yeah,
she will sort of shoulder in and say, "Let me take a look at her." And will first attempt a healing word and then a lesser restoration. I don't know if either will make a difference, but that is the plan.
So the healing word kind of fizzles out because she has not lost any hit points. The lesser restoration, however, does take hold. And as she slowly comes to consciousness and the color begins to return to her cheeks and such, 'cause she was very like deathly pale, like maybe dead. The color begins to return, and Dayu, you slowly wake up and God, your head hurts, your back hurts, your whole body hurts. You are so uncomfortable and miserable and cold and what the fuck? Why is this happening to you? You just feel like very cranky, very shitty.
This fucking hurts.
You're face to face with, surprisingly, Rev.
Hi, Rev.
What happened? You weren't... It didn't feel like you were hurt, but...
No, I tried to, I tried to be closer to Nizos to see, you know, if we could, but he's being such a fucking bitch right now. So this fucking hurts. Don't lie down on that. I point to the thing.
Yeah, Rev looks at the corpse slab and is like, yeah, no, I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean it didn't work?
No, it worked. He's just really mean and like so cranky. I don't even know. How am I supposed to do anything? He doesn't even have people around to ask things. Fucking hell.
He's the god of dead. He's divorced.
Divorced?
How was I supposed to know that?
Widowed.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Widowed is what I mean.
He's widowed.
I made a divorce joke in our personal chat.
Oh, God
because
damn
he
it.
said my place is not to be close to the living. That's just a guy who lost his wife.
Oh
and is
boy.
mad about it.
Uh.
But that's above the table. Sin doesn't say that.
Y'all are so reductive about my stories. God damn.
Listen, I love your
Nico's like,
stories.
boo.
I think
Boo.
they're great. And
Boo.
the only
Negative
reason I joke
inspiration.
about them-
Hey, chat, should I give them negative inspiration? Should I take dice away from them?
Please, Eddie, madam, no. I'm begging.
Hey, chat, what do you think? What do you think?
Please
When
no.
players are reductive and calling deities
No,
who have to be separated from life. Chat, please. Jupiter, you don't count. You're biased. Biased as fuck. Chat is biased.
Sorry. He's gonna be weird.
Kazuhiko just kind of looks down at you and he says, have you ever stopped to consider that maybe it's not your place to talk to the gods?
Well,
Luna
hold on.
Seren's different from other deities. You know that.
Yeah, I do, but when... I just thought,
What, that he owes you something?
no, that if I'm gonna be like a pawn in his game, the least he could do is explain the rules.
Well, what did he say?
Nothing. I'm gonna get up.
He'll put you down.
Then I'll figure it out sometime, eventually. I just want to know. I don't even want to know. I just wanted to see what would happen most of the time. Things just happen to me,
This is why I don't like authority figures.
To be fair,
Not
this
helping.
is more of a thing that you did to yourself.
Yeah.
Kazu does kind of give you, Rev, like a little bit of side eye. Like, you can tell he agrees with you, but maybe like now's not the time. Wow. Rev and Kazu agree on something. Mark that down for the record. And I think here, as you all exit the Temple of Nissos, is a good place to stop for the night.
Can I actually drop a bomb before we stop for the night?
We're gonna drop bombs? Okay.
Yes, I'm gonna
Alright.
drop a bomb specifically on Alyssa right
Okay.
now.
All right.
So it's gonna be like, listen, I know it kind of sucks to hear, but it's like also kind of right. I mean, in the swamp, I talked to Furos. And he tried to take a memory of one of my loved ones away in exchange for protecting us, but I could tell it was a trap.
Furos.
Yeah, I mean, we were being chased by a banshee and ghosts, and after that horrible fight, I was praying to anyone I could, and Furos answered. And then got mad when I said, actually, I don't want to give up a memory of my loved ones, and I know you're tricking me.
I suppose it worked out for us, but I'm surprised that this group is attracting so much godly attention.
I'm just that charming. I'm cool. I dropped my bomb. On Alyssa specifically.
Alrighty. So we're going to go into confessions. We are going to start with a revelation. New confession view, everybody. Oh
Oh my gosh!
my god.
I've learned so much today. That story of Omira. Imagine being loved, being empowered by a god, and just turning against him. I'll take my birthright, guided by Furos, but I'm not fool enough to try and betray him afterwards. There's so much more that we could do together. And the bell. I don't know what my mother has done to draw his ire, but this spell is both lost and desired. Maybe it could be enough to save her. Maybe it will be enough to draw his attention back away from the others. And that's it for Rev.
It's me.
Aurora, I was talking and I was muted. I'm so sorry. It's Aurora's turn.
Hi. This mission here is creepy. Scary city underneath another city that we're not allowed to talk about. I don't understand why I would be on this. I'm not the Incineratus they wanted for this mission. But maybe if I find her, it'll go better after this. That's Aurora.
Ow. Moving on to Nikita. This time I remembered to unmute.
I was hoping that by the Caligashir telling us that there's one definite spot that we could go to, that there will be a lot more guidance than what we ended up getting. The tea did not get the shit. I also forgot the tea until the end. That was my bad. I'm so excited, but so scared still after everything I've seen. There's reason, too. Dayu wears her marks with a confidence I did not expect. She's been through the most on here. I admire her ability to have so many people ask so many fucking questions all the time. And she takes it in stride, although I know that it takes a toll on her. I just want to get through this shit. That's it.
Moving on to Synarch.
What does it mean to love someone like that? To betray someone like that and still be loved? I don't know. But I'm worried that this city is going to change me. There's something wrong here. And I am worried about the attention that I'll draw. The attention that I'm seeking. What does it mean to find answers to questions you don't want to ask? I'll be in the city for a while. Write me. I'm worried about you. And I hope to hear news from home. And that's it.
And Dayu.
I live my whole life like this. And I don't ask for anything. And then how come they only want to take it away after I've lived my whole life like this? I don't get it. Maybe that's why they're all gods, because they're so detached from everything. What's the point of having domains when you actually don't understand the people living in there? Whatever. Fine. I'll stop asking questions.
Alrighty. Okay, my friends, thank you all for a wonderful game. It feels good to be back. We will be back next Wednesday. And let's see. Yeah, we will be back on the 24th. We will be back on the 31st. And then we'll be off the week of the 7th because I will be out of the country. So we have 2 more episodes before we take a little break. Sorry about that. Timing and things like that. Life happens. And then after I return, granted I'm not completely dead from time zone changes, because I will be in Asia, we will play the following Wednesday after the 7th, Valentine's Day. So yeah, maybe we'll have some special stuff for Valentine's Day. To my lovely players, thank you as always for being here. Excuse me. Let's find somebody to raid. Let's see. We've got... Looks like... looks like... Dork Tales. Oh no, Perception Studio. Perception Studio is doing a court of felt and feathers, so puppets. Let's do that. Excuse me. All right, guys. See you next time. We're going to raid out to Perception Studios. Thank you. Bye.